Awesome. Thank you very much for turning up to the show. I know I said like 15 minutes ago I was going to go live, but I went and done a little bit of thumbnail, so I had to do that. Right, let's talk about this, right? Because earlier on, KI, you mentioned something about Ethereum, and that's pretty much what I've been looking at as well, but I didn't want to mention it. But anyway, clearly other people are also frustrated. So let's talk about the market. We're going to talk about Ethereum, what's really happening with Ethereum recently, and I hope this disaster stops with Ethereum, then we can move forward. What's happening with XRP, right? And what's happening with BTC, right? If we understand all of these things, then we can move forward and we can actually have a better time in the market, right? Because remember, one thing I'm going to say this before we go anywhere is the market's not over, right? That's, please understand this. I know a lot of people are panicking. Market's not over. There's a lot of news out there and a lot of people trying to connect dots. You know, I'm not about connecting dots here, right? I'm all about basically what I see on the charts and what I kind of predict or project, right, what might happen. That's about it. So I've talked about how BTC was a bit iffy in the last few days, the last few streams we did, and I said, look, it's showing signs that it wants to go down. You know, as long as it doesn't go down, it stays sideways, it's a good thing, right? So far it's doing exactly that. It's actually staying sideways, so technically it's a good thing. And as evidence, you can see how the altcoins have started to pump. So a lot of altcoins are pumping heavy, pumping hard. Even BNB today even went to test the $800, right? And we did predict BNB to go and test around $1,000, right? So, you know, it's probably on track to go and do 1,000 if we don't basically blip out or whatever, right? So if we don't get a black swan event or something like this, that's what I'm trying to say. So far, look, when I'm looking at the total market cap, because that's my indicator. When BTC starts messing around, I've got to look at the total market cap. Total market cap today sitting at 3.44 trillion, and we have tested almost 3.5 trillion dollars. So we can see alts are definitely pushing the market right now. Alts are taking the opportunity exactly as we spoke, and they're doing their thing, right? So a lot of the coins are performing. Now, with Ethereum, obviously other people have noticed, and Ash from Wall Street Bets, right? I don't think he's there anymore, but he mentioned something on Twitter. He said, look, this is nonsense, right? I'll say it in the most pleasant way. But he said this is nonsense because he's noticed as well how the Ethereum Foundation is dumping around $50 million every time Ethereum moves up. So as soon as Ethereum goes above the $3,500 level towards the $3,900 or $4,000 level, they dump about $50 million worth. And they've been doing that nonstop, right? So I hope they stop. As soon as they stop that, we can start moving forward. I see SM here. Nice to see you, my brother. So as soon as they can stop that, we can start moving forward, right? Because Ethereum has been, as I said, for weeks and weeks now, it's been the most disappointing ever, but we know why now, right? Because when you look at the wallet, the foundation wallet, you can see that they've been dumping, right? And it's not just Ethereum, other coins as well. For example, yesterday within a 24-hour period, right? Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. No, sorry, day before yesterday, when XRP was pumping towards the $3, because we were expecting it to go to $3 and then possibly even go to the $3.30 as a silent sweep. Nice, salam, my brother. So I see, you know, we were heading towards the $3, but just when we head towards the $2.90, what do? They dump $4 billion. $4 billion, right? So the people are cashing out. And who are they? Whales, right? So it's not shrimps, right? We know it's not shrimps. We know it's not the sharks in between, right? It's the actual freaking whales, right? Killer whales, right? So these guys are dumping heavy and trying to bring the market. Now, on the flip side, right, if we talk about BTC now, then there's a good thing about BTC, because what we've noticed is while people are panicking and dumping BTC, some whales are dumping BTC, right? Guess what? BlackRock, Vanguard, and all sorts of other companies, right, are buying up BTC. They're buying up BTC. So when we saw a little blip to about 93K, what's $700 million worth or something, 600 and something million dollars worth, BlackRock just picked it up. What's going on here, right? So that's what's happening. So you got to understand, like, you know, when the panic is setting, because they know that that parabola is coming, right? And all of this is telling me that the big whales, the big boys out there, especially companies like BlackRock and this and that, all of those people with infinite amount of money, basically a money printer, they are picking up, because when that parabola comes in, they will dump, and that parabola is not far away. So I've clearly mentioned a few times on a few of my live streams, I mentioned this, right? I said it's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that is, look, it doesn't end tomorrow, right? But let's talk about this, right? The beginning of the end means that we're going to get to that stage, right? So we're currently in the hype phase, right? So, you have that phase where, everyone's all sad and, it's all bloody. No one's happy. No one wants to buy. Well, we've gone past that phase. Then we enter a phase where it's all about hype, right? Everything's hyping. The market's completely, going to the point where they're going to lose emotional control, right? That's the hype phase. This is the hype phase. But during this particular phase, a lot of the time people kind of dose it down a little bit, kind of calm it down a little bit. So what's happened now is the whales, like, players like BlackRock, they've realized that, hold on, we're getting into that phase where we're going to go parabola, complete insanity mode. When we go into that insanity mode, well, we need to dump to these people, and that's what's going to happen. So they're picking up all of these coins. They're picking up these coins, right? So there is billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, sitting on the table right now, as I've mentioned before as well, because a lot of these coins, if they go back to their previous all-time high, some of these coins were like $3, currently sitting at $1. Some of these coins were like, $50, now currently sitting at like $5-6. Think about it. If they go back to their previous all-time high, that's trillions of dollars just sitting there. Because last season, this is why I'm saying this, last season when BTC hit $68,000 or something like this, right? It was $1 trillion. The whole entire market for BTC was only worth 1 trillion, 1 point something trillion dollars. Currently it's at $2 trillion. That's just at BTC alone. And then when you factor in how many coins we had then, right? The total market cap for that time was around $3 trillion. So currently we're sitting at 43 trillion dollars right now as I'm speaking. 3.4, let's just say $3.4 trillion with BTC at $2 trillion, right? Ethereum at almost about 500 billion dollars, right? We got let me just check XRP and I'll talk about XRP a little more. XRP currently recovered a little bit. It did go to around $230 billion, currently back at $240 billion. And by the way, guys, when you're looking at the numbers, I know you might go to some charts and say, oh, actually there's only $100 billion there. I'm talking about the fully diluted market cap. That means every single coin in existence. That's the price valuation right now, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So please to understand this, right? So, that that's how we're looking at the Batman's a big whale. Probably, you never know, bro. Batman, Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean, right? He's a freaking secret billionaire. I mean, he's an open billionaire, but Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? Batman, he chose his name properly. I'm telling you, Batman's on another level. Where is he, by the way? I don't see him on the chats. I don't see him on the lives. Right? Where is Batman? So anyway, when I'm looking at this, like, for me, I think we're getting into that phase where we might actually have a final push, and that push could potentially happen within the next 2 weeks. Right, could happen within the next 2 weeks. Now, there's one thing I'm glad about, that BTC is calming down. Not quite there yet, to be honest. Right, I would really want to see it. As I said, I've said it plenty of time. I'm going to say it again. I'll stand by what I say. I would love to see it between $92,000 and $90,000. Right, because that would definitely bring calm to the market. Because you can't right now. It's chaos. It's freaking chaos. Because it doesn't matter what you look at, right? What KI just said, everything's pumping. Yes, whatever you pick, whatever you look at, any chart you're looking at, right? You see hundreds of coins just pumping the life out of themselves, right? And you starting to panic, like, oh, I should have bought that. I should have bought that. That's the kind of a thought right now, right? There are plenty of coins just pumping, right? But that's the reality, right? We're in that phase right now. It's complete insanity, because that's when you lose control, right? So if you do have bags, just play it safe, and of course, stop loss, right? And about stop loss, remember, guys, if you're putting a stop loss, it's got to be below your whatever you current value is, not above, because you may, if you're moving up, you may trigger it to just sell, because technically it just thinks that's where you want to sell when we get to that price, right? So don't do anything crazy like that where you set it up like, your current price is $1 and you set it up at $2, but this thing shoots all the way to $3. You'll be kind of technically stopped at. It could happen, right? So don't take that risk. Just keep on moving daily. Just move your stop loss, right? That's the most important thing. So XRP, as I said, like $4 billion being dumped, and there's a bit of a battle going on, and I believe there's a few now this is my theory, by the way, so could be a conspiracy theory. Please understand this, so take this with a pinch of salt, put your tinfoil hat on, and this is what I think. A lot of these massive institutions, right, and I'm talking about the actual crypto institutions, right? So we know BNBs are freaking institutions, right? So similar way, we've got Ethereum, which is an institution, Solana's an institution, XRP is an institution. Let's not deny that they are an institution, right? And they have a legal entity. So what you'll find is they actually kind of hold each other's coins, right? So they actually hold each other. They have complete faith in it. That's one of the ways they invest in each other, right? So why would you buy my coins? Sorry, why would I expect you to buy my coins if I don't hold your coins? So they kind of share that kind of a thing. Similar way, as I said, Vanguard owns shares in BlackRock and BlackRock owns shares in Vanguard in similar way, right? So they own each other's coins, right? So Gala, is it doing anything? I haven't even looked at it, bro, because Gala's just disappointing. Remember the other day I mentioned the coin, I lost around 10 grand. That's Gala, by the way. So that's Gala. It bled out for me. So yeah, I'm still down as far as I know. I'm still down. If it comes back, great. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's forget Gala for now. If it gets there, it gets there, right? There is a lot of gaming narrative going on, and Gala does have a massive holders basically, and also they have made plenty of announcements with all the development and everything that they're doing, right? So yeah, there is a potential Gala could do something. Again, what you have to think is forget the fundamentals, forget what Gala does, forget the news, forget all of that. Focus on the money. Focus on the price action, because what was, as I said this so many times, it's going to be like recycled, right? So when it moves from one these group of people, or the emotion, right, goes from one coin to another, because people always like to jump on the coin that is moving, right? And right now the chaos is that nobody knows which coin to jump on because everything's freaking moving, right? And that's the whole beauty of a bull run, and especially the end of a bull run. And we typically say a parabola. This is a parabola. So those of you who haven't experienced one before, this is what it is, right? Things get absolutely bonkers, right? I mean, 2017, just at the end of 2017, after BTC done its run to whatever, I think it was like $19,800, when it done that run, BTC started settling down, dominance started to drop, and Ethereum just shot from like $8. Ethereum shot from $8 all the way to like $1,400. So can you imagine? That's the kind of moves you're gonna experience, right? At that time, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to react. Well, when do I exit, right? This is one of the reasons why, over time, obviously, I've experienced it. By the way, look, I've experienced it. I've been through that emotional phase, and from being there, like, and a lot of you guys have also been in there as well, right? Because of that, I know that you guys will guide other people as well. Because now what happens is, even if we lose control, right? I sometimes lose control, right? But I know when somebody's asking me a question, or when I'm talking to somebody, I am actually the calm one, because I've experienced it. Because now I'm in a teaching mode, so I'm a lot more calmer, right? And I know a lot of you guys are doing this with your friends and family as well, right? And I think that's the best way to move forward, because if you can at least calm someone down, right, pass on some of that knowledge and say, guys, look, this is normal, this is what happens. We could expect a 50% pump in a single day, right, which is not uncommon at all. However, we could also expect a 50% dump, which is not uncommon at all, right? So this is how crypto works. And then we just got to keep calm and move on. But at the same time, I've been promoting stop loss to everybody, and I say, you know what, as it moves, move your stop loss. As it moves, move your stop loss, so you keep maximum of that. That's the most important thing. SM says, with Gala being inflationary, what price should we expect now? I'm thinking moving to ETH. It hasn't done much yet. ETH is the one I'm looking at. So ETH, I believe, right? Ethereum Foundation, right? So I don't know if you know this. Ethereum Foundation is like an institution, right? That's where all the development stuff happens. So obviously they need to pay all the people that work in the foundation. But also you need to understand that majority, or major, I think that's the right word. It wouldn't be majority. Major Fortune 500 companies, major Fortune 500 companies, including Microsoft, including Apple and XYZ, right, and plenty more. They all have a chair or an office in the Ethereum Foundation, so they're actually part of Ethereum Foundation. So there must be some sort of a push. The reason why they need to cash out, right? So they cashed out. They're going to pay for something. Could be marketing. You never know if they need, $1 billion, right? Because they've been dumping 50 million every other day, right? So if they've been dumping $50 million worth, it's not much, right? Compared to what XRP did, $4 billion, right? 50 million is nothing. Remember, 1,000 million makes a billion, right? So 50 is nothing. It's a small number. But if they've done it enough times and they have accumulated a few billion without actually completely hurting it, They may be getting ready for something. It could be absolutely anything. Now, there are plenty of upgrades and this. I know some people talk about how the upgrades are coming. They're going to do this. Like, none of that matters, guys. We're in a freaking end of the bull market, beginning of the end of a bull market, right? We don't need to focus on that. We're going to focus on all of those things in a bear market, right? In a bear market, right? Which project? We're going to open up our books, a list of coins that we have, and we're going to say, right, what are you doing next season? What upgrades have you got? What is your plans? And then we pick our coins and we stick to them. We do that in a bear market. Right now, right? We get in, we get out. We get in, we get out, right? Rinse and repeat, non-stop. Do that all day long, no problem at all. And of course, if we've made enough money, right, we got to start putting our stop losses in. So don't go into the wild west without any weapons, without any guns, without any whatever. You got to be ready, because someone's going to come and shoot at you and they're going to take you down. So you have to shoot at them before they do. You know, the Western movies, right, where, you know, they do the gun thing. So like that, basically. But yeah, Ethereum hasn't moved. Ethereum, believe me, if people think Ethereum has done anything, Ethereum hasn't done absolutely anything, right? It is absolutely stagnant, right? It's always been stagnant. And I think there's a time, and I think there's an opportunity. It might finally start moving, right? Chris says, so what will XRP hit by the end of the week? Well, we were expecting, by the way, Chris, is that Chris? Is that my buddy Chris, or is that somebody else? I'm just trying to find out. Anyway, so XRP, we expected XRP within 48 hours. So I made that call on, I believe, I think it was like 3-4 days ago, right? 3-4 days ago. I made a call. I said, XRP will hit, and you can see it. It's a live stream, right? We did a live stream. It's just one of these before this. And I said, XRP will hit $3, if not $3.30 within 48 hours, right? And if not, then worst case, we give it 72 hours, which was, yeah, it was on Sunday. So we gave it until Wednesday, right? Oh man, I own 1,425 shares at shut up. Okay, right, okay, right, okay, fine. Right, let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. Okay, I think you're gonna love this, right? So stick around, you're gonna hear this, and I think this is gonna help you, right? So far, you know what, I'm gonna change everything just because what you just said there. And you're not the only one. I've talked about this on my last live stream as well. There are some boys that I know who are buying. In fact, someone recently just bought, I think I mentioned it. It was like almost a quarter, no, sorry, $500,000 worth in XRP. They just bought $500,000 worth in XRP, and it was around $2. Can you imagine? So this is, you know, so you're not the only one. There's a few other people there. And so far, they're still hanging on to that. Now, some people have longer perspective. That's a different story. But if you've bought it, not an issue, right? Now, I hope you bought it at spot, right? If you bought it at spot, then ultimately you should be okay. If you are trading, that's a whole different ball game. Trading, you know, as long as you trade well, you can make a lot of money within a very small amount of time, right? Let's just say you don't even have to hold it, right? That's a whole different, leverage trading is a whole different story. I'm not here to promote leverage trading. By the way, guys, none of this is financial advice, okay? My name is Sham. This is 0xfiles. The truth is always out there. I do not promote leverage trading to anybody. So if you have bought it at the $2.34 per share, that means you've just bought it at the bottom of this current dip, right? And we could potentially start heading towards the $3 again, because XRP right now is too close, right? Too close to Ethereum's target for it to stop, because it's at, you know, $230 billion. It's not that far. It needs to go towards there, and there's enough momentum and enough attention, right, and enough spotlight right now, and I've talked about this, for it to push towards the $3, and then obviously above that $3.3, right? Once we get to the $3.30, which is the peak of the previous all-time high, the all-time high, if we get to that and the momentum in the market stays, my prediction has been, and I've stuck with it, right, we can actually head towards $10. Now, whether we go to $10 or not, that's a different story, but I think we can easily get to there, if not at least $6, right? Because it's not a big number like the jumps we've done. And I've talked about this before as well. You take little steps, right? And each step, the percentage is so small that it seems like, okay, it's a big step, but it's not. It's actually a very small step. So that's how I look at it, right? SM says FOMO. Chris says no. But I could have bought so many at 128, but I sold high at 178, and then redoing this. I don't want to day trade though. Fine, if you don't day trade, that's a good thing. That's what I recommend to most people. I say, guys, if you're not experienced, if you don't have fast fingers, or if you don't have a complete strategy, like a lot of us, we trade, like we actually trade while we're sleeping, right? But we would not risk funds that we can't afford to lose, right? And I always say to people, I said, don't go silly, because a lot of people will bet their entire house on it, and don't do stupid things like that. Best way to do it is, if you have a spot, then at least you know the worst case scenario. Okay, I have a spot trade, I've bought it, I can follow the market. If the trend is high, then yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of decent money, right? And then if not, I always say, like, stop loss, what I said. And earlier on today, I said to SM as well, I said, put a stop loss just below where you bought it. Worst case scenario, you're going to lose 5%, right? But that's easier than you losing 50% or holding a bag for another 5 years, which is not a problem. Some people would like to hold a bag, right? But so far, like, the market, the way I'm looking at it is, yes, we dipped and people have bought the dip, and the only people that sold are whales, and we're going to find out who those whales are. I'm sure it's going to be exposed very soon, right? And I have my doubts, right? Because every season I've seen it. There was a last season, exactly when we went around $3.30, $9 billion was dumped, and that's what crashed it, right? That's what crashed it. And this time, almost attempted it, almost an attempt was made. But lucky for us, it didn't really impact the market because the momentum is on. And that's not a bad thing. As long as we have momentum, as long as we have a push upwards, yeah, that's where we could go. So, yeah, Chris says, yes, I did buy at the dip. That's good. I also own 164 shares of XLM too, and I don't know what other cryptos are good, right? So if you are in the narrative of XRP and XLM, no financial advice. The other ones you should look at is Flare, FLR. You should look at that, and also SGB, Songbird. They are all related, and I've talked about it many times. So have a look at those. They are kind of, you know, for $100 you can buy thousands of them, a few pennies. Like they're not even a penny right now, or a cent, right? They're not even a cent. I think one of them is like 2 cents or 3 cents. So think about it. The tiny, they're not bad. If someone's now coming up to me and saying, like, okay, in the short term, right, within the next 2-3 months, I want to make a little bit of money, you know, what would I buy? I would recommend something that is below $1 or maybe even close to $1. The ones I'm looking at is Say. I still recommend Say to people. I still recommend Cardano to people, right? So those are the ones I'm looking at. Funny thing is, today I was shocked with TRX. Tron actually surprised me because I wasn't expecting Tron to go that high in the market cap, right? But of course, apparently there's some news alongside that. Justin Sun, the founder, he mentioned something on Twitter or whatever, or wherever he mentioned it, regarding the Trump pro crypto thing. And that kind of hyped the market, hence why it pumped up, right? Also, talking about Trump, right? I've just kind of cut through and get in here. Trump is thinking about, or the rumor is, right? Again, we cannot confirm until we see it. So the rumor is, and it's all of the media, by the way, mainstream media, I don't trust them. That's why I say it's a rumor, right? Mainstream media, they're useless. But mainstream media is saying that apparently the new SEC chair is a pro crypto guy. I forgot his name, pro crypto. That's the news that's going around. And also the CTFC or something, commodities futures, and you know what I'm talking about. They are also changing the chair for that as well, and they're putting a young girl or woman who's also pro crypto. So that's a plus win-win, you know, if that is a reality. So let's see. I mean, we're going to wait for the news and see where that goes. Chris says, I hate penny stocks. Okay, like, if you hate it, you hate it. I'll give you a good example though. Let me give you a good example. 2018, Cardano was 3 cents a coin. I told people to throw $500 into it. People didn't throw $500. Some people did. At the end of 2021, the bull market, they made 15,000%. 15,000% was the entire thing. Basically, $500 gave them 15 grand. You don't like penny stocks? I don't know, bro. Maybe you like big stocks. If you like big stocks, then yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one that hasn't moved, that has recently suffered a little bit, and it's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's going to come back with full force, right? It's Solana. So you like big bucks, go for a Solana, because Solana is going to come back with vengeance, right? Solana got knocked down from the 3rd place. It's going to, and remember, it's part of the World Economic Forum. Solana is part of the World Economic Forum, right? So it's got some big boys behind it. They're going to come back with vengeance. I'm telling you right now. Man, see, it's hard to predict a hit like that. Why is it hard? Look, we've bought Solana at $10, $12 in this channel, in this YouTube channel. There's videos out there me talking about it. We've bought Solana at $10, $12. Why not? We've been talking about Songbird since it was like 1 cent. It's currently like almost $1. What is it? Sorry, not $1. It's 0.12, so it's bled out a little bit, so now's a good opportunity. We talked about Flare when it was like 0.02. Currently is at 0.33. So it's not hard to predict, and we're not predicting anything, but we're finding good gems, and we basically talk about them here. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's not you listen, it's not about, like I've mentioned earlier on this video as well, a lot of people jump on coins that have already moved. I don't do that. If it's already moved, I don't want to know about it, right? I'm looking for the one that hasn't moved. I'm looking for the one that has a potential to move. So I'll give you a good example, Flare. Why did I recommend Flare? Of course, no financial advice here. Why did I recommend Flare? If you look at Flare, you'll see that on the chart, right? Flare's high was 45 cents. It's at 3 cents. You do the maths. It's at 3 cents. And when we talked about it, it was at 2 cents. You do the maths. So 2 cents to 45 cents. How many percent is that? Simple maths, right? Songbird, we're looking at currently at 1 cent. I think it was at 45 cents or something as well, something silly like that, right? Or higher, I'm not sure. But we did some math, somebody else talked about it as well. I think it was in a comment someone mentioned, they said from that price, if we get to its previous high, that's a 125x. Do the maths, you know what I mean? But again, I'm not going to say anything here, so so let's see conversation. Hold on. Hold on. Chris says he put his entire bank account in XRP, which is around 3,500. Okay. Faisal, salam, my brother. Nice to see you here. So Chris thinks he's going to get to $5 by the end of the month. And when does bull market eventually ends? Well, I have been talking about this is the beginning of the end. And what I mean by the beginning of the end, guys, is look, we have different phases, like a wave, right? So the wave pattern goes up and down, right? So we have a wave of BTC movements, right, which has already happened, and we've moved. Like what you have to look at is the greater number. So a lot of people, I know they talk about it like, oh, we went from 50K to 70K. No, we didn't. Look at the bottom of the market. We went from $15,500, right, or somewhere like below $16,000 to $99,000. That's the entire maths. That's what we performed, right? Similar with other coins, that's what we did, right? But at the same time, one other thing we did was we knocked down the previous all-time high. So any levels we had, we knocked it down and we went and created a brand new all-time high. And currently we're in price discovery, by the way. A lot of people might, that's it, it's over. No, we're in price discovery. And price discovery means it's not over. As long as the momentum is still there, as long as the trend is still there. Trend is your friend to the end, right? So the trend is still there. So as long as we don't invalidate the trend, we're fine. And so far, I'm looking at numbers and I said, right, invalidation would be about 72K. So that's slightly below 73,700 that we had before. So as long as we go down there, then we start invalidating the pattern, and then we can call it a bull market is over. But we don't have to worry about those numbers, because what we're doing is we're saying, look, as we move up, we're going to move our stop losses up, and we're going to lock down as much profit as we can. So even if the bull market ends, even if BTC goes back to 20K, it doesn't matter to us, because we've locked down the profits, because we've already been planning for it. Right? XRP, we've already been planning for it. Everything, we've already been planning for it. Right? So, I'm going to put it. Anyway, Faisal says, was speaking to you yesterday, Sham. Did say about Atkins. Yeah, you did say, something that's the name, right? But again, I'm not going to say anything until the person's in office, brother. That's the whole thing I'm trying to say here. So yes, it's a rumor. There may be some confirmation. It's being exploded all over the news, right? So these are actual news corporations, mainstream media promoting all of this. But until it happens, we shouldn't really take that for granted yet, right? Let's see what happens, because as I mentioned, Justin Sun put some tweet out there and that's exploded, and now all of a sudden Tron, right, TRX is now up there in the top 10 of the market cap. Freaking crazy. That's insanity. This shouldn't be happening, but it's happened, right? Chris says it's all random, but my gut is telling me that XRP will be the way to go. Every coin is a way to go, but ultimately I always say to people, guys, don't marry something, right? Cryptocurrency, stocks and shares, right? Then they're just like, treat them like one night stands. Okay, fine, you're in love with them, no problem, date them for a little while, right? But don't fall in deep love with it, and don't freaking marry it, right? Don't do that. You're in it to make the money. You just said you confirmed, right, on here on a live stream. You said that you put your entire bank account, $3,500. Why did you do that? You did that because you want to make money. You think it's going to go to $5. Great, right? So you're going to double your money, triple your money. That's what you want to do. So admit that. Don't go, oh, BTC is going to be the way, Ethereum is going to be the way, Solana's. Who gives a damn? I'm in it for the money. I don't give a damn what's the way. Who cares? Right? Once I'm going to make the money, everyone's going to make the money. If I don't take the profit, somebody else is going to take the profit. That's the one rule. If I bought an asset and I see profit and I don't take that, somebody else will come and take it, right? So as long as we understand that reality, everything's great. Anything can be the way. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? We don't have to be, this is it and that is it. Oh, come on, guys. This is not a cult. Right? We don't have to have these crazy beliefs about this one particular asset. There's 4 billion coins out there, So if you're stuck with XRP, somebody else might choose something else. Do you know what I mean? Let's not do that. We're in it to make the money. Let's be honest about it, right? We want to make money, right? We want to buy now. We want to sell it for $5. Your number, $5. My dollar's 10 number. So my is $10. Sell it, and then we're going to wait for the market to bleed out, and then we're going to rebuy it again and do it all over again next season. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we want to do. Do you know what I mean, right? So there's a lot of messages being deleted. I have no idea what's going on. Wesley Watson, hi sir. Is HBAR going over all-time? Yeah, HBAR is definitely going towards that direction. So HBAR is, again, part of that narrative as well. When you look at the market, when you look at what HBAR is doing, in fact, last couple of days, HBAR has been on a complete rip, right? In fact, it's actually also entered the top 20 right now, right? I think it's top 20 if you minus all the USD coins, right? It's entered the top 20. Now, HBAR, just last year, it was on page 2. That means every page has 100 coins. It was on page 2. So imagine the growth it's had in the last few, last month, actually, last couple of weeks, especially the most, right? So HBAR is definitely, again, when you get that spotlight, right? When you get that, you shine, right? And as I mentioned earlier on this stream as well, what happens, and this is, you will notice this, of course, the more you see it, you start noticing it becomes second nature to you, right? You'll notice when a particular coin starts to shine in any exchange or whatever you go in, they show you the most decrease, most increase. And when you start noticing these, right, all of a sudden, when you see these coins doing 50, 60%, you also want them. That's when you notice them, right? Before that, a lot of people don't know. There was a coin, someone talked about IOTA the other day, KR. He talked about IOTA the other day. And it's a coin, I've had it since 2017, right? I dumped it in 2021 and I forgot about it. And then recently, bloody thing pumps, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm gutted because I don't hold any, right? But who knew it was going to come back? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden now it's back here. It's like, oh, that coin, yeah. So there are millions of coins out there, and they're going to pump. And HBAR again has a similar kind of a institutional backed narrative as well. And I've talked about it in my previous streams as well. You guys can go and check it out. I'm not going to repeat myself, but yeah, they are looking good. And a lot of the coins we've mentioned before as well, there's a lot of the coins, some of the coins may not ever go back to the all-time high, by the way. Please understand this, right? There are coins who are like $40-50 and currently sitting at like 50 cents, right? Currently 50, a local high like $2, right? They're never going to go there, right? There are fresh coins that launched at the price of at the launch, right? They had like $50 launch price, and then they went to like 50 cents, right? And then they did peak. So last season they did peak, or whatever season they peaked, right? That's our target. So we're not even looking at the launch price, because some coins that launch at a higher price, maybe in a decade we'll get there, but right now, no, I don't think we're going to get there, right? But other coins who launched at pennies, like HBAR, they launched at pennies. they have a higher chance. Anything I've noticed this, any asset that launched at pennies, they have a better chance because they have more people power, more people holding them, more people buying them. Right? Just what Chris says earlier on, he said he doesn't like penny stocks. Well, brother, penny stocks has the biggest community, the biggest holders, right? That's what happens. Where do you think XRP was? Right? It was pennies, right? Think about it. Anything that has penny stock has more people coming to it, right? And it's got nothing to do with budget. As I mentioned earlier on, someone bought $500,000 worth, right? In your currency, or USA currency, $500,000. In UK is about £400,000, right? Think about it. You're not talking about small fish going and buying it, but they buy because of that. Actually, 2018, I know someone who bought $30,000 worth of Cardano at 3 cents. Think about it. He wasn't stupid. He knew. He said all that needs to do, that 3 cents, if it goes to 4 cents, I've already made 30%. Think how he's thinking. He said if it goes to 5 cents, I've already made 2/3, right? And if it goes to 6 cents, I've doubled my money. Think about it. The maths is insanity, right? Because that's how the maths is. I'm not thinking about how many dollars is going to go. I just needed to go a couple of pennies and I've made my money. And that's what people do. So, you know. Faisal says, keep it sensible, people. Nothing silly in the chats, please. Yeah, please. You know, let's be respectful. End of the day, we're here. I'm live. I'm talking to you guys. And ultimately, listen, I'm not sure how many people interact with all the comments and everything. I will happily interact with you guys, but if you're gonna have something silly, then of course I'm gonna ignore you. And then I've got moderators there who might end up banning you as well. So Chris says, which cryptos did you mention I should buy, and how much would you recommend, and can you put the names in the chat? I mentioned Flare, I mentioned Cardano, I mentioned Songbird, right? SGBFLR. And someone on the chat just mentioned HBAR. That's a good coin as well. But again, I'm not saying you to buy them. I'm not going to do a financial recommendation here. So none of this is financial advice, but those are coins we have talked about who have great potential to go with the market, right? So, you know, they're part of this XRP ecosystem because they have a lot of institutional backing behind them, right? And, you know, most of the buyers are institutional buyers, right? Bankers and, you know, accountants, and that's what they like. People like coins that have faces behind them. So that's what it is, you know. If you ask me what I would like to buy, I would like to buy XMR, Monero. There's no face behind it. Well, we know actually there is a face, but the point is it's decentralized, it's on the dark web. That's what I would like to buy because I like decentralized, but I'm not recommending that to anybody anyway. So that's that. Adil Irfan is here. Adil says, Salam, bro. Hope you're well. Do you expect this BTC pullback to happen till the year end of year? Then Trump comes and officially, and we will see another rally. Okay, politics aside, people aside, news aside, right? Just by looking at the chart, are we going to see a correction? Yes. Just on the chart. This has got nothing to do with whatever the future holds. We don't know the future. We don't have a crystal ball. What we have right now is charts with candles, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of candles you use, different candle patterns, right? So you have candles. Sorry, I got something in my... you got candles. And each candle that has printed is a fact. That's a fact. And that's giving us a trend, right? And based on that trend, we're coming to a convergence point. So basically the chart is looking like this, right? We're coming to a convergence point. When we get to that convergence point, we have to make a decision. We either shoot all the way up and probably head towards $200,000 BTC, right? 250K BTC, or we fall down. Now, knowing how many percentage we did so far, knowing how much percentage big whales have done so far, knowing that even in our own community, Discord community, our own YouTube channel community, people have bought it around 15.5, let's just say $16,000, if not $16,000, 16,000 pounds. People have bought it. We have confirmation people have bought it. Knowing that how much profit they have made, knowing that they understand that what I teach them is you sell or they sell, right? So if they are going to decide to sell, because it's a game of chicken, right? Who gives up first? So if someone sells, right? Think about it. It will, most likely be selling. So we're going to see a dip. Now, the correction could start rallying back up again, right? But that rally could be two things. One, we continue, it's got to do with Trump or whatever. That momentum does come in. So yes, they will have a part to play, but not entire part, because the charts are saying something else. And we always talk about the charts, what they're going to do later on. So when I'm talking, I'm not telling you what's going to happen today or what's already happened, am I? I always tell you what's about to happen, right? So what I think may happen based on what the charts are saying. So Trump comes in, fine, we're now doing a prediction, right? So Trump comes in, we have a nice little rally, but the rally could be one of two things. It could be a relief rally that has nothing to do with Trump, right? Complete manipulation to take more of your funds, right? Or get you locked in again. Or it could be a part of Trump. But does that then take us back to a new all-time high? Or do we end up doing a double top and then just shooting back down again? Do you know what I mean, right? So none of that matters. As I said, when you look at price action, it doesn't even matter. When you look at the trend, none of that even matters. Remember, fundamentals, news, all of that, we don't need any of those, right? As long as we follow the price and we follow our strategy of safeguarding our funds on the way down. So as long as you play with stop loss, as long as you have some sort of a trailing stop, as long as you have a strategy and you say, okay, this is when I might have enough. Like, for example, I can't remember who it was. I spoke to someone today and they've done quite well. They've done like a particular asset, they did about 5x. So on a particular asset, they did 5x. So they're like, look, bro, I've done enough. I've made 5x on this thing, and I never even thought I was going to make 5x. I'm not going to mention the coin because it's too late now. But this person's done 5x. So I said, so what are you going to do? Are you going to take some profit? He said, yeah, I'm going to take about 80% off the table, which is brilliant because he's made 500% profit. He's taking 400% of that off the table. That's the right thing to do. Now he's going to diversify, because that means he's taken his initial plus some as well. So he's going to now go and diversify and play with some more, but his initial is back in his pocket. So he's not going to lose any money if anything happens, and now he has the opportunity to probably make even more. So that's a good thing. So sometimes you got to think about it like that as well. You know what I mean? Right. But yeah, I did, honestly, brother, to be honest, I don't follow the news. I don't. Yes, there are some news that comes to me, sadly. People forward it to me, which is great, because half the stuff I don't like about Trump replacing those two. I didn't know about that. That was news given to me, right? Ethereum, right? For example, Ash from Wall Street Bets mentioning that tweet that was sent to us on Discord, right? So it wasn't just me, it was sent to us on Discord, right? But I already knew about that, but I never mentioned it. XRP, $4 billion being dumped. That was information given to me. So it's not just I went out there and looked at. I don't have time for that, but that's the only way I get my news, right? If it's relevant, then people give it to me, because a lot of people know what. There's no point telling him about news because he doesn't follow the news. I don't follow the news. I do not connect the dots. That's the last thing I do, right? A lot of people recently, right? Okay, last whole 2 freaking weeks, right? I think 2 weeks now, right? I've been on a live stream every other day telling you guys how BTC is overbought. BTC is looking like it wants to go down. BTC could be down for a week or two, right? Even predicted like, okay, not this week. BTC is not going to dump. It might dump next week, right? We mentioned that. And it happened later on. Just after that, it happened, right? And then people are now saying, here's the fun part. Or did you know BTC crashed because of the kimchi, whatever, right? A Korean exchange crash or BS or whatever, right? Apparently, whatever. I'm sitting here, I'm like shocked. I'm like, what? Hold on, we've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. So what's that got to do with it? We've been bleeding out already. Hold on, did we go to like 80K because of the kimchi trade nonsense? No. So hold on, where does that even connect? Where does it even connect? You know what I mean? It's just confusing. I'm like, seriously? Now you know what BS is, right? That's complete BS, right? If we've been talking about it for 2 weeks based on the chart, and then some dude comes along, right, and then connects it a week and a half later and connects it and says, that's why it happened. That's why. I'm thinking, seriously, you're telling that to your 800, a million followers? That's what you're saying to them? Wow. Okay, good luck, guys. Honestly, good luck. Faisal says, absolutely, Sham. We all want to make dollars. Of course, let's just be honest about it. We're in it to make the money. That's the most important thing, right? There's 4 million coins. And then in the future, we'll probably have millions of other coins. Maybe even we might get some sort of a crypto regulation where we can actually shave some of them off. And then the true gems will shine, right? we every season, right? And I say this, to everybody, and I advise it to everybody. Every season, you get the opportunity when you make money, you take that money, right? Whether you cash out or not, that's the whole difference. But make sure, right, that you take that money, that profit, you take that. There's no point seeing, oh, I've 10x my money in my wallet, and you're happy about it. You're showing your family, you're showing your friends, you're going around and telling everybody, but that's pointless if you haven't taken it out. Right at the end of the season, when we enter the full force of the bear market, and you're sitting there, and someone comes up to you, so how much did you make, or how much you holding? Oh no, actually I'm back to 2K now. Don't do that, because you're going to demoralize yourself. You're going to lose confidence in yourself. But if you take 10K, for example, and you made it into 100K, right? You're the boss, because you're going to come back next season and you're going to probably play with 20K and go, right, look, I did it before, I'm going to do it again. Right? You're the boss. Do you know what I mean? Be that person. That's the most important thing. Fat Wets Cat says, hope all is well. Let's hope all is well. Chris says, I just bought Flare at 0.0300 worth, which is, yeah, exactly. So 2,800 coins out of a billion coins they have. So it's not a bad deal. Chris says, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you about the penny stocks. I'm winning, winningly, I think he meant willingly to listen and hear all the advice. I'm not advising anybody, but you know what I mean, right? So what I'm saying, and I'm not offended, by the way, I'm not offended. Don't feel that you offend me in any way. I've got moderators there. They will, if they see something offensive, they will get rid of it anyway. But what I'm saying is, look, focus on what's like right. Don't focus on the one that's doing the moves, right? So something's pumped 100%, maybe it's a bit too late. Yes, it could pump another 100%. There's nothing stopping it, because we're in that time of the market. Remember, we're in that phase stage, right? With that hype phase, right? It will pump. But what you don't want to do is jump in on the top. Right? That's the worst thing you can do. But what you did with XRP today, what you said, if that's exactly what you did great, because you bought the dip. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. We know the trend is secure. This thing is definitely going towards $3. It might not do it today. In fact, it might do it after another 12 hours to 14 hours. Just off the top of my head, but within tomorrow, hopefully we should see. If not, by Friday, we will definitely see a nice little move, right? Because XRP wasn't dumped by us. XRP wasn't dumped by your normal person, like normal holder. It wasn't dumped. It wasn't dumped by the loyal people. It was dumped by the unloyal whales. And these whales are institutional corporations, right? So what's going to happen, if they are going to dump anymore, they're going to dump it by Friday and they're going to leave, right? Because they're going to go, the 9 to 5 stuff, right? Monday to Friday work hours, right? They're going to go home and whatnot. And in the weekend, we're going to pump the shit out of it. And that's what they do. They monetize on us. We pump it, they come back, they cash out. That's what they do. It's a sad reality, but that's the reality. You know what I mean? So Chris says, what do you think about Doge and Shiba? Doge and Shiba, I've mentioned about before. Doge, I think, is the grandfather of all meme coins, and you should hold some. I hold some, but now I want you to be cautious. If you do, now you want to buy with the stop loss, right? Is it going to pump any higher? You're going to need a miracle, right? It will happen. It's not like it's not going to happen, but if you're thinking about some crazy number, forget it. It's not going to happen. Let's be real about it. It's a meme coin, right? So with meme coins, you've got to be very, very careful, right? When you look at the total market cap, when you look at exactly where it is sitting right now, right? It's currently in the top 20. Let's just say top 20, right? I can't tell you off the top of my head exactly what number of the market cap it is, but top 20. Got to be very careful, right? Shiba, fine, it had its run, it's done its thing. We've made a shit ton of money on Shiba, right? Back in 2020 and all of that, right? We made a lot of money when it first launched, right? After that, we've got some. It's not like we don't have some. But is it going to do anything crazy? Well, maybe. Competitively, I said to other people, I said Doge, Shiba, Bonk, and Pepe. I said all four of them. These four are like the top meme coins. If someone's going to buy and hold meme coin, they are the top four. And most of them are coming in for new price discovery as well. So some of them are coming in for new price discovery. They've already hit their all-time high breaking pass, right? How high are they going to go? We don't know. they're memes, remember. Of course, when it comes to Shiba, that's a different story, and Doge as well, and I'll explain a little bit, right? So Shibarium, they have their own network now, so they became a network, which is why I believe that it's not as valuable as it was. However, it is valuable because now they are bringing more coins and more technology, but that's only adding to the problem we have, right? When you're going to have XYZ 1,000 more coins pop up every other day on Shibarium, if Shibarium becomes something big, we've got more problems. That's problematic, right? But of course, it will bump Shib. Fine. That's a narrative. Make the most of it, but make sure to take your profits and make sure to have a stop loss when things go south, right? That's it. Now, Doge is a different story. Doge has a lot of investment going in from the Ethereum Foundation, by the way, and there's a few other projects who are also funding it as well right now. So there's an actual development team on Doge, because Doge didn't have a developer. Its own developer left, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you research some videos, you'll see the original founder talking about it, where he sits in a cafe or whatever and he talks about it. So he's come back as well, and plenty of other people have come back. And of course, Vitalik Buterin from Ethereum is also backing it. There's a few other people backing it as well. And you know, Elon Musk is there all the time pumping it as well. He probably holds it. That's a different story. But it's now, Dogecoin is going to become a network at some stage. I think it's already become, right? It's already been moving onto other platforms as well. Sorry, other networks as well. And I think they're going to finally become a network. But again, that adds problems. Like, okay, this is my opinion. I don't think it's like most people might not see it as a problem. Do we really need another network? You know, like Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, Sui, Say, BNB, XRP, you name it, all of them, right? XRP is not exactly kind of a network because you can't really build too much on it, right? Or there is a way, but you can't. What I'm talking about is these other networks where you can go and build thousands and thousands of coins. That's just adding to the problem because it's just taking away market share. We don't want that. If we want other coins to perform, well, we need those coins to stay where they are. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I'm just going to put it. So yeah, they are good, but just play cautiously. That's my only advice I'm going to give to everybody right now, because earlier on in the bear market, you can go and watch any of my videos. All I said to everybody, I said, guys, now is your time. Pick your coins, go and buy anything, doesn't matter, right? Even before we hit the pump recently, I'm talking about 3-4 weeks ago, before we hit the pump, I went to everybody and I made the announcement. I said, guys, that's a confirmed bull market. We're coming into a parabola right now. Buy any coin, anything you desire, whatever your budget can afford, you go and buy it. Doesn't matter how much you buy, just buy it and sit on it and watch, and you're going to thank me because you're going to make money. We already did that. That phase is over. Now we're in the phase where basically, I'm in my phase basically, where I'm telling everyone, guys, yeah, we're going to move. Some of these coins are going to do a 10x from here. Some of these coins are going to do a few x from here. No problem. Others aren't, probably not. But whatever happens, make sure you have a stop loss, because that's the only way you're going to protect your funds, because we are at the beginning of the end. That means any time now, within a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, right? It doesn't matter, but it's coming to an end. So if we have that in the back of our conscience, then we can trade more cautiously and more safely and keep our funds. That's what I'm saying. So Fetch II, Fetch II, bro, it's doing okay. In fact, recently it did really well. I think last week or the week before it pumped really, really well, and then it kind of stabilized. Again, remember what I always say about these coins. Doesn't matter what the coin is, if it pumps and then it closes a candle, and that the candle it closes is higher than whatever the local high was. So it's not even a previous high, just the local high, like, at a peak, right? If it's higher than that peak, that's where you want to say, right now that coin has a potential to start pumping even higher, right? So yeah, again, it will pump. Probably you see a 50-60% pump coming very soon, if and we've already done a few of those anyway. So that's, again, right now there's no point looking at one specific coin. Everything's going to pump. This is altcoin season, lads. This is altcoins. We're heading towards $4 trillion, right? We're heading towards $4 trillion right now. Talking about it, listen, I started this video, we were sitting at $3.43 trillion. We're already at $3.47 trillion, right? And it must be that brother who bought a thing, but it's pumping, right? Everything's pumping. BTC's at 96,735. Ethereum's at 3,842 right now as we speak. Crow, where's my Crow guy gone? Right, where's Mr. Fish? Mr. C, sorry. Crow's at 22 cents right now. So Crow's been pumping hard as well. Again, I talked about this. It doesn't matter how high it goes. Where the candle closes matters. That's important. So if we have that, we're great, right? Say, I've been pumping Say since it was like a few cents. Since it was a few cents, believe it or not, you can go and see my videos. I've been pumping Say, right? Promoting Say to everybody. Say it's currently at 72 cents, almost testing 73. In fact, it just touched it, 73. Pepe is at 21 cents. And I told everybody when Pepe was, God knows where it was, right? I said, guys, just, throw $100 in there. And I can tell you this, right? This is a fun fact, right? If you threw $100, when I told everybody to buy Pepe, if you put $100 in, that $100 right now would have been worth 40K. That's all I'm going to say. $100 in that Pepe at that time, if chucked in, would have been worth about 40K. Yeah, 40, is it 40? No, sorry, 4K. Sorry, 4K. 4,000. Because that's when we saw the pattern, everything settled down. It's like, okay, yeah. So you'd have $100 would have made you $4,000 right now. I think that's the accurate number. Yeah, $4,000. I can't tell you off the top of my head what my balance is. I'm holding. All right, Pepe is one of those I'm holding. Solana, we talked about Solana. $10, $12. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Faisal says, I've got people I told to buy and hold certain cryptos call me 4 or 5 years later asking, shall I buy now? It's classic FOMO, chasing green candles. Yep, exactly. But that's the nature, but it's natural, by the way. Us humans, we do this. It's just how it works, right? It's just how we're programmed. You might have this great project out there, but because no one else is talking about it, so everyone knows about it, so you can go and you can speak about it to 1,000 different people, say, guys, this is really cool, right? This really does this and really does that. And they'll be like, do I know anyone who's talking about it? And then they'll realize there's no one else who's talking about it, or it's not in the media, there's no posters, there's none of that business. So they'll ignore it, right? They'll ignore it. And then later on, when they realize that it's in the media or something, they'll jump on because it's on the media. Hold on. Media doesn't mean it's good. You know what I mean? Right? You should have been in there as an early investor, right? Because that's where people suffer. Cardano, all of you guys know this, right? From 2020, you guys have been following me, right? You know this, right? I mean, most of the guys on the chat, basically. I've been promoting Cardano, and I believe that they have a great opportunity. I believe they're trying to change something. Polkadot, we talked about it many times. Yes, now recently, because of price action, it's not performing. I said to everybody, I said, look, I still like Polkadot, but the price action isn't there. I'm dumping my Polkadot. Right? I've made my money. I'm dumping my Polkadot. I'm cutting my losses. In fact, I lost money on Polkadot. I've lost money. Right? Fine. I'm going to let it go, because if something else is running, why am I holding into a bag? Why am I holding on to something that I'm already down? I've bled down. Everything else is moving. Why am I still sticking around? Leave it. Move on to something else that pumps 80-90% a day. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to do that. That's how you're going to recover your losses. And so far, so good. I think I've recovered most of it. I haven't recovered all of it, but I've recovered most of it. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Chris says, yeah, XLM, and I converted all my XLM to Flare. Why do you convert your XLM to Flare? XLM still got steam, bro. XLM is a big boy. I'm telling you, it's got steam. If XRP moves, XLM also moves, right? In fact, XLM has done better in performance in the last month than XRP. XLM is a performer. I'm telling you, it's a good project. So let's go says, buy Bitcoin. Anything else is designed cheap distractions. So we have another person here. As usual, I always say, right, buy Bitcoin. Fine, right? How much Bitcoin you gonna buy? How many Bitcoin can you buy? It's a question to you. How many Bitcoin can you buy? All right. And if you do buy Bitcoin, okay, we go to 200K. It's good, right? We buy 1 BTC today. We're going to go to 200K. How many percent are you going to make? So if you can answer that question to yourself, you don't have to answer it in public, right? Just percentage. Then the whole conversation, everything I said in the last 5-10 minutes, right, was irrelevant to you, because you clearly didn't understand it. If you're making 80% a day, 500% on a single coin, why am I going to look at BTC? Why? I'm in it to make the money. I'm in it to make the money. I don't give a damn what BTC does. If BTC goes to 200K today, what does it do? It's only 2x from here. So hold on, something else is giving me 5x. Why wouldn't I be in 5x? The same money. I'm going to make 5x. And then I can buy, right? I can buy 5 times the BTC I would have bought today. Think about it. right? Please, please, don't come here and act as if BTC is the only thing, XRP is the only thing, HBAR is the only thing, right? I'm just making an example here, right? Don't. We're in it for the money. Be honest about it. Be honest with yourself, right? Be honest with yourself. Let's make the money, bro. It's time to make money, and we want everything to move, all right? So everyone makes money, and more people that make money, we're gonna make more money, right? um, Faisal says, Chris, it's always dangerous trying to chase green candles. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. Huge risk. Of course it is. Let's Go says, crash out and flip your shitcoins into Bitcoin. And I did that a few years ago, and it was the best advice I got in the space. Well, funny, you're here the first time. 2 streams ago, this is exactly what I said. I said there's a strategy that we use, right? And I'm not going to use the word, but there's certain type of traders we do this. We don't look at USD value. We don't give a damn about the USD value, all right? I'm not in USD. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to cash out to GBP. I don't give a damn. I want to stay in crypto. So for us, what we tend to do, we look at how many BTC, right? Or so say one BTC, how many Ethereum or how many of XRP or how many other altcoin we can buy with that. We look at that. And then what we do is when we make money in that, when we make the percentage in that, we flip it back to BTC, and we end up having more BTC than we originally start with it, right? So that's a strategy that we actually do. Right, so yeah, if it works for you, great. Do you know what I mean? I'm all for it, right? And I'll celebrate. If that's wins for you, good luck, great. That's how it should be. That mate of mine who bought $30,000 worth of Cardano at 3 cents, right? Well, guess what he did? He didn't have any BTC at that time. When Cardano pumped, right, and it pumped to like I think about $2 and something or $3 when he exited, he flipped it straight back into BTC. So this guy didn't have enough money to buy 2 BTC at that time, right? 2 or 3 BTC, whatever it was, right? He didn't have, but his strategy was to do something different, and then he ended up having more BTC than he would have had. So it's not a bad deal. Do you know what I mean? You don't always have to directly buy BTC. You can flip it and make BTC. That's what he's done. So good luck to you. If you have, then that's good. Chris says, I don't put anything into Doge or Sheep. You mean Shiba? Because I heard what memes can just keep generating more memes, which can just see no further more between people. Oh yeah, okay, look, memes are becoming more like NFTs, right? So there was a time when NFTs had some sort of valuation, right? Memes are becoming freaking NFTs as well, right? So they're getting to the point where there's just too many. Believe me, if we didn't have as many coins out there, as many meme coins pumping out every day, it's like 10,000 coins pumping out every day, then yeah, they're great. We can follow the trends and do whatever. But that's not happening. Do you know? It's just too many coins, and that diversion. It just and the thing is, it's like majority of these meme coins that are being pumped out there, like they're coming out, the fresh ones. It's the same group of people, right? So what they're doing is they figured out that we can spend $1,000, $2,000, drop some meme, right, and then take as much cash as possible, rug pulls, right? And that's what they do. They just keep on taking. They're selling it to you, making money, and they're just non-stop making money. So someone's getting wealthy over it, but people don't understand that. They lose faith because they're losing money. They don't trust it anymore, and it's becoming the point where it's like it's going to become NFTs where no one gives a damn anymore, right? No one gives a damn anymore. It's like, what's the point? So yeah, that's the reality. Well, I think, anyways. That's my opinion. Let's Go says no, I don't know. Let's Go says this guy's delusional. I am. I live in a whole different planet, bro. I live in a whole different planet. In fact, in my bio, I think it says I live in Saturn. Do you know what I mean? I'm in a complete different planet. Because my planet, all I see is it's a time to make money, right? And there's a time to buy cheap, right? So if I find something cheap and you're talking to a guy who only talks about BTC, you're talking to a guy who only talks about BTC, you're talking to a guy who's been promoting BTC since 2015. You're talking to that guy. You're talking to the guy who's first come onto YouTube on this particular channel in 2020 and only promoted BTC. Said, I won't talk about anything, only BTC. You're talking to a guy who uses BTC charts to analyze the entire market. But when it comes to make money, I think I'm not delusional, you're delusional. If not, then you're foolish, because I believe in what the reality is. I'm here for the money. I want to make the money. Now, when it comes to the bear market bottom, or whatever I think is the bear market bottom, that's a different story. What do I want? I want the best coins, right? I want the best coins. I want where everyone is going. That's what I want. And I want them for cheap, right? That's what I want. But right now, Whether I'm delusional, whether I'm foolish, or you're delusional, that's a whole different story, right? Each to their own. But I'm being honest with myself. I want to make money. And if I'm making money elsewhere and I'm doing 10x, 20x, 30x elsewhere, well, you do the maths, bro. So maybe I am delusional. My maths doesn't work out, you know. I'm not even from this planet. So Chris has got to go. I'll see you later, brother. And thank you for the advice. Anytime, my brother, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm insane. I'm not the norm. I'm abnormal. You know, it's fine. You know what? We can't all be on the same boat, right? We can't all be the same people. I can't be you and you can't be me. I don't want to be you and you don't want to be me, right? That's the most important thing, right? But we need people who are different. We need people who think different. We need people who think outside the box, right? Don't follow the herd. Be opposite against the herd, right? So I'm one of those. I'm always against the herd. People who follow me here, they know this, right? Everyone else like follows like a sheep, right? Whatever direction everything goes, and I'm the opposite. So when the market becomes bullish, I become slightly bearish, and I'm like, guys, you got to be cautious now. So I'm always trying to pull people back down to the ground when they're flying off. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But anyway, let's go. That's what it is, my brother. Look, it's not that hard to buy and hodl Bitcoin. Anything else is designed cheap distraction from Bitcoin. Yeah, fine. Cheap distractions or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. When you're making the money and when you're doing the percentage, if the percentage is higher and you're getting more money in your wallet, I don't know whether it's a distraction or not. I don't know, bro. You know, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. How do I answer that? I don't know. There's a time to hold. Yeah, we hold. Who said we don't hold? You're making an assumption we don't hold, right? You're making an assumption we don't hold, all right? I don't even know when you've entered BTC. Maybe you've entered back in 2008. And if you have, what are you doing on this channel? Because by being here, you're proving to me you are not there from 2008. I haven't been there. I admit that. I've been in crypto since 2015, middle of 2015. I admit it. I have a complete statement here on YouTube. I've told everybody about it. And I've seen the ups and downs. But I'm also not dumb to hold, right? There's a time to hold. And I tell everybody, hold. And I'm not trying to offend you in any way, by the way, right? And I don't feel offended, but I'm just saying, or I'm not being defensive, and I'm not trying to offend you. All I'm saying is there's a time to buy and hold. And I think it's stupid if people don't cash out. If someone's bought it at £15,000, right? Pounds, right? And I know someone who has, right? You bought it at £15,000. And by the way, I called it as well. So just in case you didn't know, I actually called that. I said, look, and I called it at 68,000. I said, BTC is going to 20, you know, below $20,000. When it goes there, you sell your house, sell your kidney, sell your wife. There's a video there. There's actually a pre-recorded video or a live stream or something. We did a big long live stream. It's there, right? So that's proof, evidence. The truth is always out. My name's Sham, by the way. The truth is always out there, right? It's on YouTube. So I said, look, that's where we're going to go. So people have bought it there. If it's going towards 90, 9900, 200, are we predicting these numbers? Of course we are. We think it's going to go there. We've talked about the numbers. We've already done our prediction, right? And when I say that, again, the truth is always out there. I've already published my chart before we even went anywhere near $73,000. So on the way back up, before we went to $73,000, before we even touched the previous all-time high, I already sent my chart out to the people of my group, right? And I said, guys, these are the numbers I'm looking at. These are my targets, right? And for one brief moment, I doubted my own target when we went to 88K instead of 86K. I doubted myself. And I even said to people, I said, guys, I think I got it slightly wrong because we went to 88K, right? Past where I wanted to. But guess what happened a couple of days later? We found support at 86K. We found support at 86K. So was my analysis wrong? Maybe, because we went to 88K. But guess where we found support? 86K. So that me drawing that permanent line and leaving it there for everybody. Calling these numbers, calling 133K. I've called it 133K so far. I said, when we get there, I will update and I'll give you a higher number. I'm not being delusional. I'm going to say, I'm going to huddle until we get to $10 million. That's being delusional. I'm playing with the maths that is given to me, the evidence that is there, the facts that are on the chart right now. I'm not throwing random numbers and hoping something picks, right? You know, like going fishing with a rod. I'm not doing that. My lines are permanent, right? I don't change my charts. So please understand that. Bitcoin is in the absolute best investment in the past 13 years. What's this guy talking about? It is, but are you holding for 13 years? Are you holding for 13 years? You're on my YouTube channel, this random small YouTube channel. If you are a 13-year Bitcoin holder, you are a 13-year Bitcoin holder talking to a guy who's been promoting this for the last 9 years, right? Who's been only promoting BTC, nothing else, right? If you are talking to me and you hold it for 13 years, something's not right, right? Because you wouldn't be here. I wish I held BTC 13 years ago. I wish I held BTC when someone gave it to me back in 2010. I wish I held it when I heard about it in 2012. I wish early 2015 I bought even more. I wish. These are my desires right now. If I could change time, I will go and do that right now. I will hodl up all the way up to now, right? But at the same time, right, when the chances are there, I will cash out. Because I believe if you're going to make XYZ amount of money and you follow cycles, and you understand cycles, right? And you know what goes up will come down. Well, hold on. You're going to be an idiot for not recycling. And I don't mean to offend you, right? But I'll feel like an idiot for not recycling it because I need to recycle that money. So if I've made 100K right now and I know that it's going to go dump back down to 10K, well, I'm 90K up. I'm going to buy it again at 10K, whatever, right? I'm going to have 9 more than I had before. Rinse and repeat, recycle, accumulate even more. How is that stupid? Isn't that the right way to do? If you are a true believer, that's what you should do. You should accumulate more, right? But accumulating more doesn't mean that you sell everything, you know, go and live out under a box, work every day, work your balls off, right? Just to buy more and hodl, buy. When are you gonna cash out, right? My strategy is you buy cheap, let it pump, and then you buy even more with that same money that you originally started with, because you're always accumulating more, and more. That's my strategy, and so far it's worked. Right? So far it's worked. You know. Anyway, it is what it is, my brother. Adili fan, bro. When do you expect alts to run? Because this is not your typical bull run with the and EDC lead. By the way, and. No, typical. This is a typical bull run. In fact, okay, there is a typical part of the bull run that didn't happen, right? There's a typical part of the bull run that didn't happen. So one of the things that normally used to happen is BTC used to run just after, right? Very soon after the halvening. That's the only thing that changed this season. But every other pattern that it's been doing is exactly the same. BTC runs first, right? So the dominance goes all the way up, everything else bleeds out because all the interest is there. And then BTC loses its interest, right? And then the profits from that, what I was trying to tell the brother, is people make so much money in BTC that they realize that they can now take that BTC and buy XYZ amount of Ethereum, which we used to do back in the days, right? We still do it. So you can buy 10, 15, 20 Ethereum because Ethereum hasn't run. And then what happens is BTC, as it settles down at that price, then obviously the other coins, the altcoins start pumping, and then you make double, quadruple, 3 times more, 4 times more the money, right? And now you can just flip it back again, and now you've got double the quantity, if not triple the quantity of BTC. So you've never actually had to go and buy extra BTC. You just basically flip the coins once into something, and then once again, and boom, Bob's your uncle, you've got double the amount that you started with. So the pattern's accurate. Other than that fact, as I said, like the only thing this cycle was different was that we didn't have a hyper pump right towards the end, because that should have already happened, but that hasn't happened, right? And this was more similar to 2017, by the way. So this cycle, and a lot of people are like, oh, this is 2020. This cycle was very similar to 2017, because 2017, the bull market bottom was around 2015, right? So the bear market bottom was around 2015, and then we had the halving in 2016, right? And then we had the massive parabola and end at 2017. This is looking very similar. This is looking very similar, right? So let's see. But listen, past performance or past patterns doesn't mean that it's going to be the exact same. You know, we talk about a 4-year cycle. Well, there's no rules saying that we can't have a 3-year cycle. There's no rules in the books, right, saying that we can't have a 2-year cycle. Nothing saying we can't have a 5-year cycle, right? So yes, we use them as a guidance, but they shouldn't be an absolute, right? Because as we move, we evolve. Everything else evolves with us, right? So that's how you got to look at it, right? And of course, remember one other thing as well, there's a lot more interest in crypto right now. You know, during my time, it was like 0.04% of the entire planet was even looking at Bitcoin, right? Or was even talking about Bitcoin, right? Now you have like 4 or 5% and growing, rapidly growing as well. So think about it, you know, it's getting out, think about it. It's just, it is what it is. Blaze Victos says buy the red. Of course, you always got to buy the red, bro. You always got to buy the red. SM, yes, we know BTC is, but we are talking alts and let's go. Mark Mickey, what's your outlook on quant? Same answer again. What I said about HBAR, what I said about Fetch. This is the time when they run. This is the time when they run. Some will go and test their all-time high and probably create a brand new all-time high, right? But what you have to look at is where are you right now? Where is your coin right now? I'm not looking at quant right now. I mean, I can open the chart and look at it. But what you have to look at is where are you right now? Are you still 99% down like some coins are? If it's still 99% down, then best you could expect is maybe we might even test the 50%. Be realistic, right? But if that 50% going upside, right, if you can expect that, and that has a percentage, right, so use a ruler. You have a chart, you have a ruler, use your ruler, and if the ruler says you're going to make 300%, well, that's not a bad deal, right? But if you bought it, and this is what I was saying earlier on, right, how I dumped Polkadot, even though I'm a massive fan of Gavin Wood, I'm a massive fan of Polkadot, you know, I gave it up. Why? If it's not performing and now is the time to make money, I'm happy to dump it and move into something that makes me money. Do you know what I mean? So quant, same story, just like Fetch and all of those, right? Yeah, I mean, depends when you bought it. As long as you're not a bag holder from last season and you know you potentially haven't lost anything, and yeah, I mean, we could head towards the higher numbers. Depends how far we and how many percent we're down, right? Quant, let me just check. Hold on, give me a second. I believe it's QNT, right? Hold on, give me a second. USD. I believe it is quant. Yeah, that is quant. Right, I'll tell you right now. So quant's all-time high was $428 based on Coinbase chart that I'm looking at right now. It's currently come and tested its local high that we had, tested and broke past, by the way, so it's a good thing. It's $154 right now, okay? The next level of resistance that it has, and I'm giving you an approximation, is around $196. Yeah, it's fine. Best part about it is it's come from $40. So we went from $400, 90% down, to $40, and then it's come back to $154. As I mentioned just before looking at the chart, right? By the way, guys, if you want to see the chart, I can show you the chart, right? So I got it in my car. It's my chart's always there. So what was I saying? Let me have this. Sorry, I'm just thirsty. So as I said earlier on, something that has gone to the bottom, 90%, 99%, they have a chance to get to the 50%. If this is already gone to 50%, then it has a chance to get back to its previous all-time high. So when you make targets, don't make unrealistic targets, right? Base it on the local highs, like the peaks, right? So if you have a particular peak, say that's your target, first target, second target, third target. All-time high is a target, right? So those are your main targets, right? All-time high, technically, if you get too close to it, it's not even a resistance anymore, right? Because you're going to break past it, you're going to go into price discovery. But those are your targets. I know some people from nowhere, like we're sitting on a coin at $10 and they will come up, this coin's going to $100. Sorry, where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? Oh, a friend of mine says it's going to go. Forget what your friend said. Where's the evidence? Has it gone back to its previous price yet? Its launch price or whatever price? Has it gone there? If it's gone towards it, great. If it hasn't, where are you making these numbers up for? Be realistic. So those should be your realistic targets. And of course, once we get there, then we can apply Fibonacci's and all sorts of other tools to say, okay, what's the probability of us going to a higher number? And that's when we can start throwing a few numbers, right? So that's how you got to look at it. Let's Go says, what a waste of time. Yep. Let's go, my brother. Let's go. I'm hoping you own BTC for the last 13 years. If you do, it's an honor. If you, let's go. If you are one of those guys who has owned BTC for the last 13 years and you've made thousands and thousands, like almost 1,000,000%, right? It's an honor having you here on this small YouTube channel. Thank you. I salute you. Honestly, thank you very much for coming and honoring this channel, right? Because it's not every day we get a person from 20, 30, like 13-year-old holding here. And by the way, BTC is 14 years old now, just in case you didn't know. Coming up to about 15 years. Yeah, I know. It is what it is, right? Adil says, also, bro, I have done my best to study the charts. I think this bull run is lasting another 10-ish months or so, but a lot of people are saying the top is in March, wondering what you think is in. So like I've mentioned on a few other videos as well. In fact, 4 weeks ago, I mentioned, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I mentioned as well. I said, look, guys, I can only take baby steps. So I'm not one of those. Just moments ago, what I said about like a $10 coin, someone's saying like $100. Same way, I will not throw random numbers. I'm not one of those guys who just throws a few random numbers and hope it connects, right? I don't do that. And I don't change my decision if I say something. I stick by it. And so I've said this as well. I said, look, from what I'm seeing on the charts, and this is like a month ago, right? I said to him, I said, guys, from what I'm seeing on the charts, right, it looks like this bull run could last. So we're safe. This is what I said to him. I said, look, guys, we've got enough time. We can see on the charts, it's showing a pattern, and I'm looking at really high time frames, right? I said, based on this pattern, it looks like we have between 2 months to 4 months. And this is me in end of October. So when I said this in end of October, I'm literally indicating end of February to March. However, I also said to them, I said, guys, the data is not set in stone. As we progress, when we see our highs and lows, if we don't get a black swan event, or if we don't have a major correction, which can affect the market, then we could potentially last longer. We can go 6 months. If we can head towards 6 months, again, in between that time, because we don't have a crystal ball, right? We can only go by the data we have. And the data we have are the candles that have already closed, not the ones that are open, right? So when we close a candle, it gives us a better opportunity to make a better decision, right? And we can have a rough estimate and make a probability guess, right? That's what we can do, just freaking guess. We don't have a crystal ball. So based on that, I already said, between 2 to 4 months, and the truth is always out there. You can go, and guys, you can check it out. What I say, I don't change, right? So 2 to 4 months is what I said. As we progress, we could shorten the time or we can lengthen the time. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you're seeing, but of course, if you're saying, please, you're welcome to share. By the way, our Discord is completely for free. You can come and join our Discord. The link's in the description somewhere. It's in all of my links somewhere there, right? But yeah, I mean, you're welcome to come and share with us, and I welcome everybody. If you have knowledge, please share with us. There are plenty of people in the community where we share coins, like different projects, and I don't do that, but I've got a few members who do, and people making a lot of money. Like there's one of the brothers, he's made a few calls the other day. I think the lowest one was about 300% in a single day. So people who bought it made about 300% in a single day, and the others, he's like, some of them pumped like 1,200-1,300%, right? So that's not a bad deal for a single day. A couple $100 here and there, people having fun. So people in the community, a lot of people have fun, right? We don't do financial advice. We're not advising anybody. We're not doing pump and dumps, right? None of that business. Sorry, we don't do that. We're too mature for that, right? Not a bunch of kids here. But there are opportunities and people are making money, having a bit of fun, right? Why not? Adult fun, right? So it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. I'm not going to say anything else, right? Let's see what happens. Blaze says XLM is going to be great. Let's hope so, my brother. I've been saying that since 2017, by the way, about XLM, right? 2017 is the first time someone actually pointed to me towards XLM, because I didn't know about XLM. I knew about XRP and all the other stuff behind it. But someone says, did you know that the founder of XLM used to be a founder of XRP? I was like, what? I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, because they didn't agree and they wanted to do things in a different way, he went and he created XLM. I'm like, oh, okay. That's when I first heard of XLM. And here's a fun fact. In 2017, when I bought, not before 2017, a little bit before, but let's say 2017. 2017, when I bought XRP, I actually bought XLM before I bought XRP. That's the truth, right? So yeah. Free energy, also my brother. What's happening? What's happening? Oh man. Do you know what? Shit. Okay. You know what? When I'm gonna be up down your side soon. So when we're gonna go for dinner, lunch, or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna call you. Free energy. I'm gonna call you, my brother. Let's Go says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I will buy as much as possible, of course. And also, I'm gonna tell you this as well. I love the way you made this comment. My comment to you is, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Don't, right? Or whatever they call it. Don't, right? Think of what I'm telling you is a gift. And I hope you remember this. You're in it for the money, make the money, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You're in it for the money, make the money. You won't change your life by just hodling it. You won't change your life. You change your life when you make money, when you accumulate even more money, and you generate even more wealth, right? That's when you're going to change your life. So you're going to thank me for it. I hope one day, anyway. But yeah, as I said, everyone's welcome to come and join my Discord and this and that. Let's Go says you need a whole Bitcoin if you're really going to make it cash. Well, I thought you're from 2013, bro. I thought you're talking about 13-year history. If you haven't bought it 13 years ago, what does the 13-year history difference make to you? What difference does it make to you? If it's done 1,000,000%, what difference does it make to you today? Past performance doesn't say it's going to happen today. In fact, each season we've been doing less and less percentage. So what it's done 13 years ago shouldn't even be relevant right now. You shouldn't even look at that. Yes, we can use that as historical data and say that's what it's done. That's been the greatest performance. But right now, that same greatest performance has been taken over by institutions and corporations like BlackRock, right? BlackRock, MicroStrategy, they're taking over. Windows, they're taking over. Microsoft, they're taking over, right? So think about it. They're taking over. So what are they going to do? They might promise to you something. Oh, we're going to hold it forever. Well, that's fine. If they're going to hold it forever, good luck. That's fine. I'm just being realistic here. You know what I mean? Let's Go says, I understand and like your strategy. I hope you do, my brother. As I said, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to diss you or anything here. But I'm just like, look, I'm one of the most open, transparent, no BS, right? Straight, clear, raw, live. I don't give a damn. That's me. I've always been like this, right? That's what I am, and that's what people know me as. People who meet me in person, they don't see a different, but this is exactly how I am. Exactly how I talk, right? I'll effing blind anyway. I don't give a damn. That's exactly how I am, right? So people know this, right? In fact, I'm not going to mention who, but my childhood friends here, my childhood friend, someone who knows me from like 30 years ago, right? Or, close to 30 years ago. He's here. We went to school together. Think about it. He's here on my chat, right? If I wasn't real and raw, he wouldn't be here. Why would a friend from 30 years ago be still watching my video? Because there's a reason. I'm not BSing. I don't gain anything from you. What I'm telling you, I'm not advising you. Of course, it's not financial advice. Do whatever, right? Each to their own. But whatever I'm telling you, I hope it benefits you. Of course, if none of that benefits you, it's absolutely fine. That's not I'm not intending to do anything. I don't want anything off you. But if it kind of carves into your mind, if you have it as a thought in the back of your head that, okay, maybe it's time for me to set up a stop loss. I'm not telling you to cash out. I'm not telling you to dump everything. I'm not telling you to pump anything. What I'm telling you to do, save the money you're making because you can get more later on. That's all I'm saying. And it's for your own benefit, right? Desi Track, my brother. Thank you very much for coming to the show, my brother. Sorry for the late response because I'm just going through the chat because we have a lot of chat today, which is awesome. Absolutely fine. And maybe it sounded like I was having a go at Let's Go, but I wasn't. I wasn't having a go at you. As I said, I'm not offended. I'm not defending myself. But I'm just trying to get the message out there, which I've been doing forever, right? I've been telling so many, because you know what? Let's Go. This is for you, right? Brother, last season, a lot of the people that I know from this YouTube channel made a shit ton of money, big time money, right? Made a big ton of money. And the balances, everyone's happy, everyone's excited, right? However, when the market ended, not many people had faith in what I said, because I said market's over. They didn't trust me, and they held. And then the market just bled out, and they still held. Believe this or not, people who held those coins from 2020 to all the way to 2021, like 2022, whatever, they held it. They're still holding those coins. So what did holding get you? So I made a because we cashed out, right? A lot of us, majority of us cashed out. So I said this season, especially for those people, I said, guys, I know what's happened. I know the story behind what's happened. Because a lot of you guys have reached out. You're still there. You're loyal followers. You follow this YouTube channel and you follow me and you show me respect and love. And I'm here. But this time I'm going to carve it into your minds. I'm going to carve it into your brain. I'm going to beat it into if I have to. You have to sell. If you're made money, you have to sell. If something hasn't performed, dump the crap out of it. Pick up something that does. Make the money pick up your losses, recover all your losses, because this is the time, right? And if I have to do it myself and tell you guys, however hard way, like, guys, do it right now. You know what I mean? I'd rather be like, you know, the bad person, the enemy, right? The guy you hate, right? Or the guy the freaking entire internet hates. I'd rather be that guy, but that's fine. I'm willing to accept that responsibility to be hated by everybody for telling everyone to sell, right? For telling everyone not to hodl during a bull market. I would rather take that. But I know you're going to thank me later and going to say, you know what, brother, because of that idiot, because of that madman, because of that delusional guy, because of that crazy dude, because of that stupid fool, whatever, on YouTube live stream, whatever vertical live stream he was doing on the YouTube shorts, because of him, right, I actually got to save a few bobs. That's all I need, bro. I don't need anything else. Of course, the other thing you could do is smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you want it. If you don't, it's okay. I don't say anybody, please, please, please subscribe. No. This channel wasn't built on me asking people to subscribe. This channel wasn't built on me saying, oh, you got to subscribe and this and that, or help the channel grow and this and that. No. This channel has naturally grown. Naturally grown. And it's grown because I'm just being me. Just being me. So, Let's Go says, yeah, just got a like because you have some good ideas. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Mark, my brother, what's happening? How are we doing? How are we doing? He says, I'm a bit late, but we'll watch it back. Also, my brother, respect that. Respect that. Yeah, let's see. Let's Go says, think the thing that separates Bitcoin from just making money is the fact that Bitcoin represents freedom, self sovereignty, and government separation of money. I've been in space since 2017. Okay, I respect that. If you've been in the space since 2017, so you and me are pretty much similar. We've had that 2017 bull market. So I've been like, I've got videos on YouTube published. You can go and see. I've talked about, and I've kind of briefly talked about the story. I was down the rabbit hole, Bitcoin rabbit hole. And for me, Satoshi was like this genius, right? That I look up to, right? I've never met him, I've never seen him, but through reading information and understanding, you kind of start to kind of connect. And I became this crazy fan of decentralization and everything, right? Listen to this, right? And I respected BTC for the freedom and the financial freedom and all the other stuff it does, right? That's me. Until 2017 bull market. When I started seeing institutions coming in, when my research went even deeper and I realized that institutions were already holding since 2014, 2015, they've been holding. And institutions are accumulating more and more and more. I said, guys, we've lost control. Even then I was like, okay, fine. I'm still there. So I'm still there. Until 2020, I'm still there. And then what happened was basically, we're talking about regulations. I'm like, regulations? Who wants regulations? Isn't regulation the complete opposite of decentralization? Isn't that centralization? So if we're heading towards centralization, what use is it to me other than pump and dump, right? So I became a whole different animal. I don't hate BTC. I love what it started from, the whole entire narrative where it started, but it's not that same thing anymore. It's not the same thing anymore. And I don't even care about the upgrades and all the forks and this and that. They don't matter. Where's our main thing? We wanted it to be decentralized. It's not decentralized. And people might say, no, it is decentralized. It's not. Even the mining companies are now mining through actual investment firms. BlackRock invests into mining companies. You've got mining companies moving away from China to whatever and this and that. Now the whole corporation. Mining is a corporation now. Where's the decentralization? They're trying to take away the complete decentralization. Where's the freedom? Right? Since it's been regulated, right? And I'm not against regulation. I believe that crypto needs to be regulated. Like, for example, these 4 million coins, we need to, shave them off. 90% of them, shave them off. We need regulation there. We need people in the space regulating crypto. That's what we need, right? But what we don't need, right, is people being prevented from entering. For example, in the UK, they say, oh, how much money do you earn? Are you going to invest 10% of that? If you're not going to invest 10% of your money or below 10% of your money, then you're a high net investor. If you're a high net investor, show us your account details. Show us how much money you're earning. For what? Where's the decentralization? Right? Oh, if you're sending money from your wallet to a friend's wallet, why are you sending that money for? What's the reason? What's the purpose? Is that your money? Is that your wallet? Right? Flight rule. What the hell? What are you talking about? Money flight, right? Basically money moving away. Why? So how did decentralization, right, become centralized, right? By regulation, by these institutions. The more institutions come, the more they're going to push, the more they're going to lobby, right? That's what's going to happen. Trump coming in. I'm still kind of on the sidelines, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm happy about it, but I'm also quite curious about what he's going to really do. What Trump, same Trump, this same Trump last season said he doesn't like Bitcoin. And all of a sudden, people just forgot that. You forgot that? This guy knew about Bitcoin from like last 13 years or 12 years, whatever. And he said he doesn't like it. And all of a sudden, Trump's got his own exchange. He's got his own coins and whatnot coming. What's going on, guys? Come on, please. Be real. Be real. Right? Sorry, I'm a little bit angry because be real. Right? What's going on here? Right? How can we just like forget what's happened? We can't forget. Right? Regulation, institution do not help the public. So your freedom, the illusion, the thought that you are free is being taken away. We're not going to be free. And we are already not being free, especially in the UK, right? You're prevented from how much money you could invest. That's not free. You're prevented from who you can send to. That's not free, right? And it's happening in USA as well, right? Because they're now trying all the decentralized web and this and that through the, whatever the infrastructure bill, right? They added crypto to that. Well, what's infrastructure got to do with crypto? But they added that. Fine, no worry. We're gonna track. You're gonna declare even decentralized wallets, right? MetaMask, this, that, whatever. All of these have to. What's going on here? Why can they do that? Because they know who the founders are. They've already invested with the founders, right? I mean, the companies, they've invested there. So because they already know who they are, they know that, okay, hold on, it just takes a simple legal paper, slap it from the court, right? And say, right, you're here, right? We'll take your business away if you don't let us do this. So there's a massive conspiracy out there that most people don't realize. Freedom is only a thought, right? The only way you can truly be free is if you start thinking free, right? If you start thinking at all the problems, right? Then you realize that actually whatever you thought was free is not free. Your freedom is being taken away right under your nose, right? And I'm angry about that. I'm angry. I think this is wrong. We shouldn't think like this. If we truly want to be free, we need to unite and say, no, hold on, put a stop to that. Well, why do we need, you to come and prevent us from doing certain things? Why do we need that? Why would our governments, new governments, come and decide our fates? We vote people in. I don't particularly vote because of that. But say you vote people in. Didn't you vote them for yourselves? Then why are they coming in here and creating more rules and regulations that prevent you from basically growing, prevent you from actually being a better person, having a better wealth, a better life? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the government actually treats everybody. They want you to vote and all of that. They give you the illusion of freedom, freedom of voting, freedom of everything. That's an illusion. But ultimately, we're all modern day slaves. We only have one purpose. Right? We only have one person. We work, we produce, we do whatever, right? We pay our taxes, which pays them so they can go out and do whatever they want to do. Right? Wars, this, that, whatever. That's how it works. It's all based on paper policy. That's what it is. Sorry. I don't want to get started on that. Albin, my brother. Albin. Long time, my brother. How are you? I hope you're good. Mark Petty says, how about XLM? Is it good to get into XLM? Yeah, I talked about XLM, Mark, earlier on. I did mention about XLM. Yeah, XLM's looking good. I think XRP, XLM. In fact, I'm going to go back to my chart because I'm not looking at the number. BTC's so total market cap still sitting at 3.47 where we were. Something along the line. Some altcoins have dumped. Here's the fun part, because BTC was at 96, now it's at 97,300. Ethereum's still holding at 3,800, right? Crow's at 22 cents, Say's at 72 cents. Okay, I'll tell you who's been dumping. XRP's been dumping, right? Mark says my chat is delayed. Yeah, we've had this kind of an issue. Yesterday I started talking about a whole bunch of conspiracies and I was talking about and then the chat just died completely. Someone switched off the chat, and I believe it was YouTube who switched off because we mentioned a whole bunch of alphabet soup institutions out there. And I said, look, I had to even put a disclaimer. I said, look, guys, I'm not talking anything bad against you, right? And then moments later the chat just went. So yeah, it does happen. But yeah, I can see Solana and XRP are dumping right now. You got I know. That's one of the reasons why I say to a lot of the guys, I said, guys, sometimes if you guys want me to, like right now, right? Okay, I got a little bit emotional. I'll be honest with you, and I apologize, guys. I apologize, but these kind of things, like sometimes it switch me on, right? Freedom and this and that and everything. The only way we can be free is by actually breaking out of the box that we're in. You know, a lot of people are under the impression that they're free. You're not free. You're not free, right? There's so many things happening. When you start looking, you know, outside of that, and it's just shocking. It is absolutely shocking, right? You know, and for me, I've told you guys many times, I'm a massive fan of history. I like myths and legends, right? And, you know, ancient history and religion and culture and all of that, right? Humanity, ultimately. And for me being a fan of all of those ancient history, right? When I look at what's happening right now, a lot of it is already predicted. That's fine, right? But we're more inside a prison now, in a slave culture now, than the slaves were back in 1,000 years ago. They were more free than we are. They were able to roam and do whatever they want. Hence why they had revolutions and what. We can't even do that. Right? We can't even go and actually revolt. We can't even go and do activism and whatnot, because if we do, then now you face prison. You can't say something bad against somebody. You can't have an opinion anymore. You know what I mean? Because then you're a politically incorrect person, right? You know, by the way, China does a credit scoring based on their camera system. We are worse than China. We are worse than China. XRP, do I think there's room to drop more? Yes, next 12 hours, or hold on, let me tell you exactly. I'm going to look at it right now, right? Give me a second. Let me quickly go into, because I've been looking at it at a shorter time. So on the weekly, obviously, they're overbought, which I've told you guys before as well, that they're overbought. They're going to come in for a reset. Even on the 3-day, they're still looking like they want to come for a reset. But 3-day, right now, with the pattern, it can last for another 9 days. So there's no point looking at that. That's why I'm looking at the 1 day and the 12 hours. Now on the 1 day, we are coming in for a reset, the stochastic RSI reset. So when you open your chart, look at the stochastic RSI. That's a stochastic RSI reset. We're coming in for that. But when I looked at the 12 hours, and this is the 12 hours, and the RSI on the 1 day, by the way, and the RSI, it hasn't done anything. Now on the, hold on, I'll show you what I mean. I'll zoom in so you guys could see. All right, there we are. So I'm going to bring my device so you guys could actually see what's going on. All right, and I'll show you. So this is a 12-hour chart. Hold on, let me. Yeah, so this is a 12-hour chart, as you can see, right? And this is the blue line and the red line. Oh, you can't. I don't know if you can see red anyway. Let me see if that works. Can you see red? Where's the red? No. All right, I don't know, guys. I'm not sure the camera is picking it up. But anyway, that, let me get a pen. That is a blue line. That is a red line. And that is the RSI. The yellow one you see, that's the RSI. So RSI is pointing down, which is good. The red and the blue is pointing down, which is good. So that's the stochastic RSI. These two are the stochastic RSI. So stochastic RSI, as you can see, it fell below this 40. So there's a 40 and an 80. So it's inside, the RSI is inside that. But the stochastic RSI has fallen below, which means it's going to reset now. Okay, so there's a reset coming right now. All we need to do is wait for the RSI to come down. So I think in the next 12 hours, because there's a 12-hour chart, it should come down. Also, if I, hold on, zoom out. Give me a second. I just want to quickly see something. How long? So we have, so it's not even 12 hours. It's about 16 hours. To be honest, it's about 16 hours, right? So it's 3 hours, 50 minutes remaining. And then we've got the 12 hours as well. I think, yeah, we're going to need about 16 hours for this to actually reset. So let's see what happens there. But that's what I'm seeing so far. As I said, like, you know, that's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit. Right? When I look at that, right, that's what worries me. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. What I'm looking at, the number I'm looking at, because they are going to come in for a reset, right? But when that reset happens, that's when the pump will restart again. So remember, I mean, Faisal, you are a witness to this, right? What, 2-3 days ago, when I first time, I think it was 2 days ago, when I first time warned you, and we were heading towards the $2.90, and I said to you, I said, bro, be cautious, right? Yeah, if we get to about 250, we're okay. We, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but anything lower than that, yes, we would. And of course, we want to hold 198, and we were sitting at $2.70, and I'm telling you to hold 198. I hope you understand why I was saying certain things, right? And it was nothing to do with someone selling 4 billion. I didn't know. Remember, I said I told you guys on this same live stream. If you go back earlier, you can see that someone passed that information to me. Someone shared that news with me. I didn't know that they were selling $4 billion, right? So last couple of days, apparently they were dumping $4 billion. I found that out later. I found that out today, but I told you about the chart 2-3 days ago, right? So Mark Pitti says, do we sell or just hold? If you haven't had a stop loss, obviously stop losses are important. That's why we say have a nice little delta, 5%, 10%, whatever. And if the market brings you out, then you're in a better position to buy some more. That would have automatically sold you out. If you haven't, then just hodl, I would say, right? Because the structure's good, the market momentum's good. We're too close. Like we're actually, remember I said we're in the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of an altcoin season. So we're not going to just last 2 days and then vanish, right? This altcoin season actually properly has been in full force for less than a week, right? So think about it. Because remember, if you go back to all the previous consecutive videos, I've clearly said, I said, guys, BTC has to settle down. BTC has to settle down. BTC has to go down in order for the altcoins to start moving. So this is like from last week. So if you think about that, it's only been a week, right? It's not going to be over that quickly because we haven't had the crazy parabola move, right? The crazy parabola move is the one that could take down the market, but this is good. This ain't going to take down the market. When 1 or 2 altcoins here and there pump and dump, it doesn't impact the market at all. The ones that will impact the market is Ethereum and BTC right now because they do hold most, like almost about 75% of the dominance, right? Is it 75 or 65%? I think it's 65% of the dominance. So, you know, you got to wonder, they have the power. These 2 coins have the 65% of the entire market. In fact, I think XRP holds 5%. So when you add them together, it's like 70%. Think of it that way, please, right? So yes, there's 4 million coins, right? But 3 coins hold about 70% of the total dominance of the market. So if they shift, they can cause a problem. But XRP, okay, it's a bit less, so I'm not too concerned. Ethereum's a little bit less, not too concerned. But BTC is your enemy right now. Even though, as I said, and the brother, hopefully he understood, I am a big fan of BTC, but BTC is the enemy for altcoins right now. If BTC makes a move, altcoins are going to bleed out. We don't want that. So Mark says, will we have a dip in January except for the March, April ones everyone talking about? Yeah, I mean, we probably will. To me, I'm going to go to a different chart right now. Give me a second. Right. Give me a second. I want to look at a whole different timeline because things get very interesting. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm looking at, right? So this chart I'm looking at right now, I can show it to you if you want. It's a 2-week chart. On that 2-week chart, price is moving up for BTC, right? For BTC, price is moving up. And the stochastic RSI is showing up, right? And actually, I'm rather than talking, I'll just show you guys. Because I know you might turn around and say, what the hell is this guy talking about? Right, let's go back there. Right, so this is, look, 2 weeks, BTC. And this is the stochastic RSI. This is this line here. These 2 lines here are stochastic, and this is the RSI. And what you see here is there's a little bit of a bearish divergence forming here. Now, this is not complete because this RSI, right? What you have to understand is it, and I'll go back to the talking, right? Because, okay, with RSI, what you have to understand, RSI is something that whatever we see on the chart, it's already happened. So if this is a 2-week chart, this 2-week isn't complete yet. It's going to complete later. So we still don't know if this is a complete divergence. This could easily change. So if we do something positive this week, it could change that pattern. Hence why we don't want to go too far. But based on that, and if we look at the previous pattern and the length of how far it traveled, we can actually calculate whether we would dump in January or not. So just looking at that pattern, we can say, yeah, January, February-ish, we could potentially see a dump. But remember what I said, the candle's not closed yet. It's a 2-week candle. When that 2-week candle closes, then we can make a decision. But this is just a 2-week candle I just want to show you, right? But that divergence is that, look, price action is moving up. So hence why we see the RSI moving up, right? So stochastic RSI moving up. But the RSI, the relative strength index, is pointing down. That is a cross. That means there's a bit of a divergence, you know? So you just got to be careful. That's it. But remember, it doesn't matter what you do. Stop loss. Be your best friend is stop loss. Don't go without stop loss, because if you do that, you're going to wreck yourself. Please stop loss. Always have a stop loss and have a target. It's like, okay, this is where I want to get to, right? This is where I want to get to. This is where I feel is a comfortable. And then around that time, put a stop loss. You don't have to cash out, but put a stop loss. I know a lot of people think, oh, this guy's a sell. So you don't have to sell. If you know what you're doing, and if you go to a good exchange, right, a good reputable exchange that doesn't shut down when the market's going hyper, right, like Coinbase and all sorts of other exchanges that shut down. If there's no liquidity issues in a lot of exchanges, go to a big exchange, and you'll be able to set up a stop loss. So then what you do is, as it moves, just keep on moving it up. You know what I mean? And you get to keep that fund. And then when it dips, you buy it again. You buy even more. That's what it is. If you've pumped up and you've done 20%, for example, and it dumps 10%, well, now you can actually buy 10% more, something like that. But you can accumulate more. And it's for your own benefit, So, yeah. And I'll show you another thing why I think that we could see a dump between January and March. So obviously, and I'll show you this quite funny. So this is still of the 2 weeks. Look at the 2 week candles. What you see, they're all green, right? Watch how it changes. You see how it changed here? It's different. So we have one red, but then things change when you move lower time frames, right? Let's go 3 days, right? See, things change a little bit. So what we want to look at is basically when we're looking at higher time frames. So you see, it's got reds and this and that, right? When we're looking at different time frames, right? We zoom in. Like if we don't understand something, if we want to see a better data, closer data, obviously we zoom in. But when we're zoomed out, we're seeing bigger data. It's simple maths, right? What you see in an hour is less strong than what you see in 4 hours. And what you see in 4 hours is less strong than 12 hours, and so on and so forth, right? So the higher the time frame, the stronger the data. Right, it gives you a better idea of what the future movements would be. Of course, when you're looking at smaller time frames, you can only predict what the future, like if you look at 4 hour chart, well, what's the next 16 hours going to be like? Because you only have 24 hours, and you only have like 5 4 hour slots within 24 hours. So you can only go forward like 4 and predict that based on a pattern. But when you're looking at weekly, well, you can start looking at weeks and you can say, okay, this is how many weeks we have, and things get a bit more interesting. So I hope that kind of helps. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I know I get a bit heated up and this and that. Freedom is an illusion. Honestly, it's going to bug me all night today. Yesterday's stream was hilarious because the moment I went into the thing and I said, you people don't come chasing after me. Yeah, I got banned. I'm looking at it. It's it didn't break it. I'm looking at it right now, brother. It didn't. So wherever you're seeing 98k, yeah, we're at 90k. I know. 98,541. That's what I was saying. Like what I'm seeing on the chart is quite funny, right? So right now the total market cap is sitting at 3.5. We were at 3.47. We're at 3.5. BTC is at 98,500 and something. So it's pumping. And here's right. Something just happened. It just disconnected for a second there. This is weird. So yes, when you're seeing BTC move right now, right? So someone's trying to buy, as I mentioned, BlackRock bought $600 million worth, right? Whatever's happening is the only 2 coins that I saw that was dumping a little bit was XRP and what was the other one? Solana. They were the only 2 dumping a little bit, right? But they recovered well as well. So the market is now in full force. Right now, the market is in full force. If you start looking at the chart, what you see majority are green. We're at $3.5 trillion. Well, guess what? That was a number we were very close to recently. We're there. But remember this as well. This is a green. What I advise to you is sell on a green. So what you're going to notice, and you don't have to react to anything. By the way, guys, this is not financial advice. Do whatever you want to do. $3.5 trillion. Someone's going to come and notice this, right? And it's already overbought. Remember, everything is overbought. We're overstretched. Everything is overstretched. Someone's going to try and dump it. So someone's going to, they pumped it already. So they're pumping BTC on purpose. These are not your shrimps. These are not your everyday guys. These are not the 10, 15 people that came to this channel, watching it and going and buying BTC or going and buying. They're not. Believe me, they're not. That is not the case at all. These are big boys, right? These are big boys. And these are not big, large quantity orders. They're micro orders, but they're made to pump on chain, right? Because big boys buy off chain. Remember, they buy OTC. Oh, not off chain, but they buy OTC, basically wallet to wallet transfer. So here, it's pumping because someone's manipulating the market. They're about to dump, right? If they don't, great, right? But just moments ago, as I mentioned, how the pattern works, right? So yes, RSI could be down, there could be a divergence, but when that closes, that's when the decision is made, not before that. No, I haven't mentioned that yet, but I have mentioned the entire connection on another live stream about 2-3 days ago. 2-3 days ago, I mentioned a few bits and bobs, how BlackRock and Vanguard, right, how they're interconnected, they invest in each other, and then they invest in multiple other companies below them. So they invest in companies that invest in companies that invest in, and ultimately when you go down the chain, you realize those are crypto investment companies, including like VanEck and this and that. You see that they are actually indirectly invested in them because they don't have to directly invest. They do that. And now that BlackRock has shown interest, like this I haven't mentioned, but now that BlackRock has shown interest in crypto, they're buying up Ethereum, which they were already buying up using GBTC, Grayscale BTC. They were using Grayscale anyway, right? And now they're looking at XRP and this and that. It's all part of the game. Whatever they know inside game, right? Because I mentioned this as well 3 or 4 live streams ago. I said I don't know why some of my mates that I have in the banking industry and this and that, finance and all of that, right? They're only buying XRP. They're gone nuts. They're just buying XRP. That means they have some inside news, right? They have some insider news. Something's about to happen, right? Because also the founder of XRP and Faisal, he shared that message actually. He's about to, there's a documentary or something, 60-minute live or whatever is coming, right? CNBC or CBC, whatever it's called. They've already recorded it, but it hasn't come out yet. So that means it's scheduled to come out at some stage, right? And all of this $4 billion in cash taking, all of that, that's all part of it. I believe they're cashing out because they're getting prepared for something big. Right, they're getting, and maybe they needed, maybe BlackRock needed it to be cheaper, not 290. They don't want to buy at 290. Maybe they needed to buy it at 230, so they bought it. You know what I mean? So ultimately, that's how you got to think about it. But yeah, they are involved indirectly. They've been involved for a very long time. BlackRock, I feel, from when I started looking at some of the companies that were buying crypto since 2013, 2014, right, especially 2014, 2015, right, turns out BlackRock was indirectly already invested in them, right? Coinbase 2012. Coinbase came in 2012. Coinbase is an institution in 2012, right? Yeah, maybe they had an IPO the other day, right? But the point is, they're an institution since 2012. Go and look at who their investors are, and then go and look up the chains of those people, and you realize they're all interconnected. Yeah, almost 99K now, my brother. It's at 98,930 something. It's almost 99K. But I'm not happy. When I see BTC at that number, it doesn't make me happy. That's risky. This is what I'm saying. This is risky. BTC at 99K, 100K is risky. It shouldn't do that right now. It should do this maybe next week, right? Maybe a week after. Then what happens? It resets. Whoever these people are, this is my conspiracy theory. Whoever these guys are, they don't want BTC to settle down because they know if it does, other coins come. They don't want Ethereum to move, so that's why every time Ethereum keeps on pumping, they keep on dumping it down to keep the price down, right? That's what they're doing. They don't want Solana to move, so they're dumping Solana as well. So same people. You go and check the same people. There's a few other coins as well. They're doing the exact same thing, right? How they're basically trying to keep the market down for whatever reason, right? But the only one they're pumping is BTC. And we know right now, I would say almost $1 trillion has been invested by institutions openly in the news, in the media, whatever. They've openly bought it, like 700 billion, right? Or million, you can imagine. That's what they're doing. So they're just buying up as much as possible because they're getting ready to dump on us. They're getting ready for that last thing. So Mark says, so Santa rally and after that dump, but how big will the dump be? I don't think it will be that deep compared to the sell-off in the May dump. Okay. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but you're right in one thing. I don't think this dump is going to be as severe as the previous ones. Like the previous dumps, we had like 80-90% dumps, right? Of course, in the alts, we are alts. Some of them are going to bleed at 99.999%. That's the reality. Alts. So please be cautious with the alts. But as you mentioned, this dump, I don't think is going to go to 80-90%. Right. In fact, we've been seeing a pattern forming for the last couple of cycles where it was like 80-90%, 95%, right? And then the next cycle was like 80%. The next cycle it was like 75% or 70%. And then that cycle's following. So this cycle could be less because a lot of people who use a particular strategy, when you take one BTC, you invest into a altcoin, let the alts pump, and then they make double the BTC. Well, if they intend to hold 10 BTC and, for example, they started with 10 BTC, if they made 20 BTC, they only sell 10, they still keep the original 10. So, you bake your cake, you have your cake, whatever you do, it's all yours, right? So that's what a lot of people do. And that's a strategy that works. So end of the day, they're not going to be hodlers. They're still going to take cash, but the cash they're going to take is going to be 100% profit. And they're going to hodl the rest, right? So, they take the initial out and some profit. So why not? That's how it works. So that's just what I've been telling people for many years, and people don't follow. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? So, yeah, but you're right. I don't think the dump is going to be that hard. I can't really say for certain. I don't think it's going to be that hard. There's a pattern, as I said, it's forming, right? But yeah, I mean, it will be definitely more than 50%, right? That's a bull market has to end more than 50%, because if it doesn't go to 50, if it doesn't go below 50%, then it doesn't quite end it, because it can still recover from that. Because unless you go below 50%, technically it's not an end of a bull market. You're still in a bull market. It's freaking crazy, right? The only time you confirm you're in a bear market is when you're 50% below the all-time high. Excuse my language, but it's freaking hilarious. Mark says, yeah, you said that, but I don't know. XRP was also one of the investment companies. Yeah, it is. XRP Ripple is facilitating from 2013, has been facilitating 200 banks across states in the United States and international as well, right? So some random crypto company just comes along. No, they have the background. You know what I mean? They did a sale, right? They have a white paper. They had actual corporations invest in them, right? So Ripple's not just your normal boy. Also, MoneyGram wasn't a small company. MoneyGram wasn't some boy sitting in a garage doing whatever. It was a real company. It had actual investments. It had actual companies, a board of directors or whatever. And Ripple bought it for $40 million or whatever, something stupid like this. I can't remember. So, that's what it is. They are all interconnected. A lot of these institutions are interconnected. In fact, Ethereum original founders, original investors, you go and see, they were invested by actual VCs and all sorts of companies. There's a couple of companies we hear, the couple of like Mark Cuban, this, that, whatever. There's a whole bunch of guys. I can't remember the names right now. It's too late. But there's a whole bunch of people. We hear their company's name, this company, that company, how they're very crypto friendly and this and that. But go and see who their major investors are, the shareholders are. You'd be shocked, right? Including Google and this and that. By the way, they've all been invested. They always invest, right? If they see something that is potential, they're not stupid. The first thing they do is they go and invest. They always buy cheap, right? But they have an option. A lot of the times, when you buy shares or stocks or whatever, right, in a company or something, right, you don't have to make it all public, right? So there are ways of keeping it private, and a lot of these companies do that. They keep it private, and then the rest of them are keeping it public. But sometimes you don't have to keep it. You can keep it public, but all you have to do is buy shares in the company that's buying the shares. So you are above the chain. So when you go up the number, it's a whole different story. So that's what it is. So would you be stupid as FFF not to get into XRP now? No, I'll get into it. It's at where is it right now? It's at $2.42 in a couple of hours. I would say around 16 hours. I said earlier on. I think it's going to do a reset. When it does a reset, it should push forward. Of course, the only thing right now is becoming a bit of a hindrance is the BTC. BTC shouldn't be at 98k. Shouldn't go anywhere near 99k. It's doing that. That is not good, right? We've only been in the altcoin for a week now. We need to carry on a week more, 2 week more, do a few more pumps, right? Then if the profit comes back into BTC, fine. All right, then the entire market moves. But anyway, overall, right, Yes, we're gonna see a little bit of correction, maybe 2 3 days, maybe a week. We see a correction. Worst case scenario, that is, right. I'm just saying worst case. Just keep it in the back of your head, right? Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we head towards the $4 trillion, including BTC. So we lift BTC with it as well, right? Head towards $4 trillion, and then we celebrate, right? We celebrate, right? So that's that. Um, Courtry Low Bubble says, go back to Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan number one. India is inferior. Why are we even talking about that? Brother, I'm not sure who you are, Courtry or whatever. I'm not Pakistani, neither am I Indian. So I'm sorry to disappoint you. But anyway, we shouldn't be telling anybody to go back anywhere and this and that. You know, Pakistan didn't exist before 1947. I don't know if you know that, right? Um, so yeah, please. You know, India didn't exist before the British ruled over it, right? So think about it, right? We don't need divisions. We all need to be humans, right? You know, we all need to realize that, look, we're all people of this planet, right? You can run, but you can't go anywhere else. Where are you going to go, right? So the divisions, forget that. That's man-made, right? We're all human here. That's what matters. Mark says the talks with Charles Cardano and Ripple with Trump government making me think they are going to push endorse USA based crypto companies. Well, most of them are USA based. Most of the companies that couldn't operate for whatever various reasons, they ended up going to Singapore and Malta and all of that. But they're still, most of the projects are actually USA based. And it gets even more crazy. They're kind of interconnected, so they all know each other, right? They all know each other, some form or a manner. I don't know how, but they all know each other. So hence why you see some of these big projects, a lot of the early investors, the pre VC investors, right? These are the same group of people. So they get in. Now, with Trump and all of that, obviously, one thing I'm seeing is a lot of these crypto founders, right? A lot of these crypto founders are definitely looking up to Trump, right? Because he's turned into pro crypto. But they have their own motive. If that helps them pump, by all means, I don't see a problem with that. But I'm just one of those. I don't forget that easily. I don't forget that when he was in power last time, he didn't like crypto, right? I'm sure there was a whole bunch of craziness, and Gary Gensler was also there at that time. So how come he didn't stop him? And now he's all of a sudden done a complete 180, and people just don't seem to remember. I'm like, no, sorry, I remember. I remember. So just because I remember, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I mean, there are like I tried to mention on another video the other day. I got distracted. Like Miami, they do have they're very crypto friendly. In fact, I think they made it the first crypto friendly state where crypto is legal. So that was that. Nayib Bukele, I was going to talk about him. So he is a dictator of El Salvador. Everyone dissed him for what he did. I celebrated him for what he did, right? And the market dipped and people cursed him. And look how stupid he is and this and that. And look where he is now. Look what he's done for his people. Do you know what I mean? So that's not a bad deal. He's done good. Now if he cashes out, he dumps it. I won't blame him. Honestly, cash out, bro. Cash out. We're making money. Cash out. So yeah, there are really talks about ADA and XRP not being taxed in the US. I don't know. That will, if that's the case, then you'll see there will be lobbies trying to push for all crypto not to be taxed. You know what I mean? The only thing I can see regarding XRP and Cardano, all I can see, Cardano, I know they go down the education route a lot. So that's what they try and do. They have done their stable coin and everything. XRP, there's a rumor going on. They're trying to do their own stable coin as well. But remember, they're already in bed with the banks, right? So if they've already worked with banks, then I don't think anything can stop XRP from actually launching. And they could have done it years ago, but right now they're probably in the right kind of legal framework or whatever. There's something that they can launch a USD coin. Now, if that USD coin, stable coin that they're launching is backed by real currency, it could be either a competitor of USDC, because currently USDC is only printed by Circle, which main investor of Circle, I believe, is Goldman Sachs. I don't hold me to it. I can't remember right now. Been here for 2 hours. I think it's Goldman Sachs who's one of the largest investors of Circle. or something like that. So Circle prints all the USDC coins, right? So it's one-to-one backed with the USDC as far as we know. If Ripple does something like this, then I think Ripple's also going to be backed, but Ripple has bigger banks and corporations backing Ripple up compared to Goldman Sachs. Of course, it's one of the, and Goldman Sachs is also invested into it as far as I know. Again, I can't confirm 100%. But one thing I do know, some of the big boys like the investment firms out there, the venture capitals and the hedge funds, right? Asset management firms, they are definitely invested into XRP. So that brings something. And for me, I'm only curious. I'm really, really curious. Is this going to be the beginning of a CBDC? Is whatever XRP is doing going to be the beginning of a CBDC? Because remember, CBDC totally depends on the blockchain. XRP has a blockchain since 2013. Hasn't been hacked. Works in a very specific way. Works for the banks in a very specific way. Forget the XRP that we're holding. That's not the XRP. I'm talking about the Ripple. So it does a particular thing. Are they going to now introduce that technology to the public and incorporate XRP into that as well? So now all the XRP holders, of course, you're there as well. Whether it benefits us or not, that's a long story. I'm not going to go there. I have my theories about that. But if a USDC stablecoin comes out, yeah, that opens up a whole bunch of stuff, you know. So like USDC right now, USDC right now is there's no fees depending on which exchange you use. There's no fees when you transfer funds, so they could easily get away with charging no tax. But then I do know they are the one of the biggest plans that they have, right? And that's just not just USA. This is global, by the way. It's a global freaking conspiracy. They're trying to beat China, and they hate China, right? They're trying to track everybody like China. They're trying to be WeChat of China, but they diss it, right? Just admit it, you're copying what China's doing, right? So what they're trying to do is create a global digital currency, or let's say national digital currency, right? CBDC. But ultimately, the goal is to track everybody. So, you know, whatever you earn, whatever you do, wherever you spend, wherever you go holiday, they will know everything because that's the only way they can do that. As long as cash exists, they can't really do that, right? But when you take the cash away, you can. So that's what's going to happen because we've already had so many different controls already. So, but yeah, that's what's happening. It's coming. It's coming. I think, and I think XRP is going to be part of it as well. I mean, the World Economic Forum, as I mentioned, Solana's part of that, right? So when you look at that, well, what's Solana doing in a geopolitical organization, right? World Economic Forum, what's it doing there? Okay, fine, it's got a seat there. So, and they have a technology, and that they proudly say that is enough to kind of compete with Visa or MasterCard, whatever. But there's nothing stopping Visa, MasterCard, and they already actually do accept crypto. Nothing stopping them from integrating one way or another, and nothing stopping them from actually being investors in them. Do you know what I mean? So, believe me, sometimes when we look at mainstream media, of course, we're only seeing, hearing whatever's being given to us, whatever narrative they're trying to push towards us. And again, like as I said, if you're free, you will think outside the box. Sometimes you start questioning, right? Start questioning and say, right, okay, what does it really mean? And when you start questioning, when you start thinking outside the box, then you see a whole different story. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, it might be a conspiracy that I have, but I like to kind of think other way. I'm like, okay, media's giving me something. They're giving me a taster of something, right? But there's a truth there. And what's that truth? That's what I need. Do you know what I mean? So that changes everything. Mark says people forget quickly. Now, here's a fun part. I don't know if the chat is still alive, by the way, guys. I don't even know if the stream is still alive because I may have picked up on something that they don't like. Because I've noticed this. So if you're still here, if you can write something, then I will know that at least the chat is still going. But yeah, let me know. If it's not, then I'm just going to kill the stream. What's the point? I've been here for freaking 2 hours now. And I doubt anyone's actually sat here and watched me for 2 hours. Anyone here watch me for 2 hours? I want you to let me know in the comments if you watch me for 2 hours. Mark, thank you very much for that comment. When you wrote I'm here, at least I know the comments are working because honestly, there's been situations where they glitch out and completely I can't read any chat or anything, so I don't even know who I'm talking to. Like yesterday, there was a whole bunch of questions at the end, right? And obviously people are asking me, I didn't know about it, and they're trying to message me on what's it called, on Discord, right? Because I got notifications switched off, right? I don't know someone's messaging me on Discord, so like right now, all notifications are switched off, right? I don't know. So ended the stream and then I saw it. Adil says, been here since you been live. Awesome, my brother. Respect, lots of respect and lots of love. Honestly, if you've been here the entire freaking time, my God, man, awesome. I love you, my brother. But yeah, lots of respect, lots of respect. Because it is like, when you Mark says, at least when I watch back, I can see everything. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Honestly, do you know what? You're not the first. There's a few other people I know who actually go back and watch it again. And I'm like, seriously, you actually do that? They're like, yeah, we watch it from whenever we jump in, and then we go back, rewind back, and then watch the beginning as well. It's like, that's kind of nice to know, because and actually, that's probably why I have so many watch hours, because it doesn't make any sense. Because when I look at my video, this is analytics, right? The other day I saw it, right? And like there was one video I had like 500 and something views on the same live streams on it. I had five, and I actually shared it on Discord. So I had 500 views. Great, I'm excited. 500 views. Then I looked at it. It says about average was 2 minute duration. So people watched it for like 2 minutes and then they left. I was like, okay, fine. Consecutive comments was like 15 or 16. I was like, okay, fine. Then that video, I went back to the analytic like a couple of days later. I was answering some comments. I went there and I looked at it and I saw the hours increase. I'm like, huh? So I looked at my overall hours, and this month, last 30 days, last 20 days, 28 days, sorry, last 28 days up to today, 28 days, my channel has had 29,000 hours of watch time. It's not a bad deal. Not bad. Adil says, you dropped some gems, bro. I've been taking notes. Awesome, brother. I appreciate that. Listen, if you do have any questions, if there is something else you guys want me to talk about, obviously, if you don't, sometimes you might see me lose my temper or something, right? But when it comes to, like, as I said, like culture, right, religion, and this and that, the alternative stuff, right? I'm happy to talk about. I don't have a problem. But if you are gonna listen to me, then I only warn you to listen with an open mind, because I will talk about things in a complete different light, right? I will sometimes probably even connect science with religion, which a lot of people want. It might sound like I'm taking the religion towards a one particular bias. I might sound like, oh, I'm just talking about Christians, and I'm now favoring the Christians in the thing. But that's not the case. You might think, oh, he's talking about Muslims and he's now only favoring Muslims, and I'm not, right? So that's the thing. If you have an open mind, then what you realize is how everything is interconnected, right? And actually, none of them even matter, because the overall bigger picture is bigger than all of them, right? And that changes everything, right? So it is quite crazy, because I do get into deep conversations regarding religions with a lot of my friends. I have loads of friends who are Catholic Christian. I've got Protestant Christians from what do you call this? The Irish community. I've quite a few, and other people as well. And I've got a couple of Jewish friends as well, and of course loads of Muslim people as well. And I have a conversation with everybody. I'll have a debate actually with Muslim people, right? And we have these great conversations, and we last for 2 hours and 3 hours. And when I drop some of my kind of theories, then people, I can see they don't agree, because they haven't been brought up to agree to it, because they've learned something and they stick to it. This is it. This is the word, right? And I'm like, yeah, fine, but I have a theory. And then when I talk about the three, I realize that sometimes you can see them thinking, they're like, oh, actually, like, yeah, okay, And I'm not trying to divert anybody. I'm not trying to say this is true, this is not true. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to convert anybody. But end of the day, I think there's a truth, and we need to know the truth, you know. And when we seek the truth, it makes us a better person, and actually more understanding and more accepted, right? So we actually accept everything, and we say, you know what? There is no difference. You accept everybody for what they are. So, you know, Adil says you drop some gems, yep. And then Mark says I have 2 hours drive, yep. Adil says it's that time. It's that time. Who is that? Is that KR? No, KR. We're about to hit 99K, my brother. If you're sending me Discord messages. Conspiracy theory. Okay, what conspiracy can I give you right now? Honestly, it's too late now. It's too late now. What's the best conspiracy I can give you? I'm trying to think of a nice little conspiracy. I mean, I've given a few conspiracies here already in the stream, haven't I? Right, regarding BlackRock and how they're already multi-invested in this and that. That's a bit of a conspiracy. Right now we just hit exactly $99,000, and I believe there's a conspiracy to dump the market, right? Because BTC pumping with the alts is a bad thing. That's not a good thing. BTC dominance needs to drop, right? And it's just moved back up to 55. We're at 53 earlier on, so that's not a good thing. Adil says, I'm happy to hear some around religion, your perspective on them. There's about 4,300 to 4,500 religions on this planet, right? So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Maybe we can do a longer version at some stage, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So those of you who don't know, right, we currently have around 4,300 to 4,500 different religions on this planet, right? Out of those, obviously, we know there are major religions and there are minor religions. There could be a religion with only even one person, part of that religion, and it's like registered, that's my religion, which is absolutely fine, and there are some joke ones as well, which is fine. But ultimately, we know there's like, a few major religions, right? Very big. Hold on, let me get rid of this. So we know we have, as I said, a few major religions. Now, actually, I'm going to save that for another day, but let me do this one, right? So yeah, we have a few major religions. Now, in these major religions, what you realize is, and this is going to be crazy, right? So, like, we have Judaism, we have Christianity, and we have Islam, right? And one of my crazy theories is that Islam, Muslims, right? So my religion, and I'm saying it in a very specific way, so guys, don't feel offended. I won't be using religious words and context behind them. I'm not going to continuously say Muhammad, peace be upon him. I'm not going to do any of that, right? If I say Muhammad, it's going to be Muhammad. My name is Muhammad, it's Muhammad, right? So I'm going to keep it very simple so everybody understands, and just to be respectful to everybody, right? So here's the fun part, right? So this is a theory that I have, right? Christianity wouldn't exist. Christianity wouldn't exist if the Romans didn't decide to persecute Jesus. Christianity wouldn't exist. And if Christianity didn't exist, then Islam, Muslims, wouldn't exist. So a lot of those people who hate Muslims because of the mass media, or like in Christianity, you've got Protestants and Catholicism. There was a time where they were fighting for like 20, 30 years between themselves. That wouldn't happen, right? But it gets even more crazy. Christ, right? Jesus Christ, right? We call him Jesus. That's not his name. So, it gets crazy. That's not his name. That was given later. That was his name. And then he wasn't a Christian, he was a Jew. So that gets even more crazy. You know what I mean? So as I said, I'm just gonna keep it nice and short and sweet. But ultimately, if that didn't happen, then Muslims or Islam wouldn't be formed. That's what I'm gonna say, right? It's quite deep. But it gets even deeper, right? God favored the children of Israel. God favored them, right? And he sent Moses to take them out of their hell that they were in for hundreds of years, building pyramids and whatnot, right? So they were building all the pyramids. So yeah, the Jewish people, but it gets even better. The Jewish people were not known as Jews, so that's another problem we have. They were not Jewish. That's a very new concept. They were known as the Hebrews. They've always been Hebrews. So yeah, history. History is freaking crazy. I love history. So I'm just gonna drop a couple of those and just leave you pondering a little bit. I don't want to go deep into it because this is not that. Right at the end, of course, if someone comes all the way up to you and they might hear this, but I might end up offending somebody. But as I said, if you have an open mind, And if you understand things in a particular way, then things just go crazy, you know. But you have to have an open mind, right? I've had people talk to me, oh, you only believe in the Quran. No, I think there's things in the Bible. I think there's things in the Torah which are very similar to the Quran. And in fact, if you only believe in the Quran, then the Quran tells you, didn't I tell you? Didn't I do this? Didn't I do that? And the Quran is referencing the Bible, is referencing the Torah, right? And those parts are still there, so you can go and see it, which is quite crazy, right? So, yeah, just a little taster, guys. We can do an entire religious one. I'll dress up for it. How about that, right? We dress up for it, and I'll do the whole religious thing. But I'm not sure most people who come here for crypto want to hear those kind of theories. But there are some crazy, crazy theories, right? I mean, I think my most favorite one is Adam and Eve. I have an Adam and Eve theory, but I'm not going to give that right now. I have this crazy theory about Adam and Eve. And yeah, if I talk about it properly, then probably makes sense to you. And yeah, if you don't believe in aliens, you will believe in aliens. You believe in aliens. And it gets even better. If you don't believe in multiverse or simulation theory, you will believe in simulation theory and the multiverse as well. So I have theories on those as well. I have theories on simulation theory and multiverse, right? And when I start throwing some fascinating, I won't call it a fact, but scripture, right? Fascinating scripture, things get really crazy, honestly. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. At 99,128 BTC. Adil says, why haven't we gone back to the moon? There's a video on YouTube. If you search it, there's a female astronaut who's on the International Space Station. She's been to the International Space Station. She was asked the same question, and she said that we can't actually go to the moon because we haven't figured out how to get past the Van Allen belt. So if we look at the technology that we have right now, right, the technology we have right now, which is God knows how many times better, because Moore's law says that, every 6 months or every whatever, we actually double in technology, right? So if one of the old, the iPhone 3S or 3GS, if one of those has had the same computing power as whatever they had in NASA back in 1969, and yet even now with the advanced technology, they can't send people to the moon, and it gets even worse. They can't even land a rover properly. So they have so many different dramas. But of course, people will say, well, they had, Apollo 20 all the way up to Apollo 20. They cancelled it after Apollo whatever, right? But anyway, do I believe that they went to the moon at that time? I don't think so. Did they go to the moon later? Yes, I do. Right? Did they cross the Van Allen belt? Yes, they did. Is it in the same spaceships or the shuttles that we saw? I don't think so. That's all I'm saying. The technology we're seeing, it's a joke. It's an absolute freaking joke, right? When you're looking at these Saturn rockets, and it's an absolute joke, right? Absolute joke. I mean, whatever Elon's got, that's a different story, right? But all of the NASA stuff and all of this, they're just complete joke. Honestly, they're just jokes. Because they have to fly at a particular speed to break past the gravity, right? The Earth's atmosphere. They're using so many different fuel. Elon's just proved it. You don't need so much. You can do all of that with less, right? So they're using some, ancient stuff, right? World War II. They're literally World War II. They sent people to the moon with World War II bombs, right? V2 bombs that they were sending to the UK, right? That's what they send them with, right? So they just re-engineered it, whatever they did. Complete BS, right? But the technology that they are using, this is a theory, right? The technology they are using, they can go past the Van Allen belt. They have gone to the moon. They have seen what's on the moon. They've gone to Mars, right? And I think they've gone beyond that as well. I think that's what's been going on, right? But like normal civilian stuff, I don't think what we're seeing is BS. Basically, that's just show, because this is, by the way, there's the declassified documents that America has used bases in South America and all sorts of other like poor countries in South America. They've used jungles and all sorts to launch from, because that way other people can't track it, and raiders and all of that can't track the launches that they do. That has been declassified, so that's an actual truth, by the way. So why would you launch rockets from to send people to the moon or wherever whatever your mission is? Why would you do it from a place where people can't track you? Because everywhere else people know exactly where the Cape Canaveral and all of that is, right? Houston is, right? They know. So why would you do that? You would do that because these are things you don't want people to know. Do you know what I mean? Because if you also look at another thing as well, the technology boom, right? The sudden technology boom happened just after World War II, right? Whether it was Japan, whether it was Russia, whether it was America, doesn't matter where, that was a sudden technology boom, actual technological boom. That didn't happen before that. Before that, there was only one country, maybe two, right? Industrially capable of doing it. And then there was one country that actually did it, which was Germany, right? So Germany was actually going out there doing all sorts of crazy stuff. They were even trying to make flying saucers, right? What a coincidence. You know what I mean? They actually wanted to make planes that were rounded in that particular shape. What says the research stopped? Adil says last one. Go for it. Which one do you want? Or is that the last one? Listen, if we start thinking alternative theories, right, and start questioning, so you've got to question every single point of it, then okay, that was the last one. Then things change, right? As I said, I don't believe that they went to the moon. I don't believe that they right now, even now, they have capability with the normal stuff to go to the moon. I don't think that's the case, right? Maybe with Elon and this and that, or a few other advances, now they might have the opportunity to go there because they know, right? They already knew about the Van Allen belt, but at that time, those rockets were not protected. They believe me, they didn't have anything to protect them. So that's the reason why they didn't go. That's what we know from the technology they had. However, the other technology that they have, that's a different story. And that kind of all links back to many other conspiracies, right? So yeah, it's deep. It's deep. Remember, whatever we see or whatever we know, whatever theory we have, whatever conspiracy we have, is only a small percentage of the actual thing. Because the way the government works and how these conspiracy secrets work is compartmentalized, right? Left hand doesn't know what the right hand does. One department doesn't know what the other department is doing. And that's how you keep a secret. And even if it leaks, it only leaks part of it, right? So everyone's confused. No one really knows what's going on, right? You know what I mean? Let's see what the market does. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Yeah, XRP's gone back to 238. We need about 16 hours for that to recycle. But that won't, see that, if BTC doesn't settle down, it won't recover. It won't recover. If BTC's got the spotlight, then other coins won't recover. You know, and we need BTC to just stop. And I believe someone right now is manipulating, because BTC is almost exactly the same pattern as XRP. So, yeah. Smash that like, guys. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Should be quite awesome. I try to do, I mean, currently, if I am free, I'm doing daily live stream, but, you know, I try to come on daily. When I'm free, I'll come on whenever. But yeah, we can talk about anything. I don't have a problem. But I think sometimes the best thing is if we are going to talk about other stuff, we just kind of keep it brief. But we should do dedicated ones. You know what I mean? And I talked about it. I said, you know what? During the bear market, when we need some entertainment, we'll entertain ourselves, right? We'll talk about something weird, right? Some sort of a crazy conspiracy theory. So like what Adil did there, yeah, you mention something and then we can we can start talking about certain thing. You know, like why we haven't gone to the moon, or if we went to the moon, if the Russians went to the moon first, if the Germans went to the moon, if there is a base on the moon. You know, there's so many theories. And the beautiful thing is, you know, when you have a theory, it doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory, because to conspire, you need two people. And usually a conspiracy is harm. It's a harmful event, right? So you're conspiring to do something bad against somebody, right? You can't really, or maybe you can conspire to do something like a birthday party, something good for someone. That's a conspiracy when you've got a few people together. But when you have a theory, It's actually quite fun. Opens up your mind, because you don't have, like, the same thing. You don't have to lock your minds on that one thing. Like, that's it. Pyramids were built by the ancient Egyptian. That's it. But what if the pyramids were discovered by the ancient Egyptians? Then the story changes, right? You know, what if the people who discovered it didn't even build it? It was built by someone else. Then the story changes. So when you start looking at it that way, now you can have the same subject, but multiple theories. And it just keeps on opening your mind, and you have many, many questions. And it's beautiful, by the way. It's beautiful. I mean, if you start thinking that way, it's just amazing. So other than that, guys, bloody hell, 9 o'clock. What's that? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Again, another long live stream. I was going to do it for an hour, but best thing was that today I was free. I did tell everybody, I said, guys, I am kind of free, so I'll do it. And I do have some other stuff I need to do later on. So that's why I was going to come on later, like around now I was going to come on, but I've got something else I need to do. So that's quite good. I'm here. And we did this. But guys, remember, if the market looks a bit iffy and you're not feeling confident, stop loss is your best friend, right? You don't have to sell. The market's still got enough room to grow. We still have like a day or two to settle things down. Worst case scenario, we might dump on a Friday, which is fine. Weekend, we'll pick it up again. We might have the Christmas push, right? The Santa push, right? We might have that. Things are looking good. And with the Santa pump, right? That's going to be more on BTC. So keep an eye on BTC and Ethereum as well. Ethereum actually looking really good, because currently it's at 3,884. If it breaks and goes towards the 4K, we need a candle to close there. So whatever happens in the next 3 hours, so midnight, 3 hours, if we can close a candle positive, we should be okay. You know, so that's what I was saying about candles as well, and patterns as well. Sometimes we might make a call, we might make a prediction, and then things will change, right? The outcome would be something else, because something happened in the day that changed the whole narrative. Like right now, BTC pumping, that changed the whole narrative. But a lot of people might say, well, that's green, that's positive. No, that's bad. That's bad. We're still in that overbought territory. That means we're gonna snap back down any moment. That's what I'm afraid of. You know what I mean? That's what I'm afraid of. So, you know, whatever you do in the market, please, those of you who have watched my show, who are here even right now after 2.5 hours, I do appreciate that. Honestly, lots of love for you guys, and honestly, you guys are soldiers for being here with me the whole time. And you know, appreciate, honestly, I'll thank you. Just be cautious, right? You know, just be cautious and protect your funds. That's all I'm saying, nothing else. Protect your funds. And buy the dip. When we dip, buy the dip, right? That's all I'm going to say. But other than that, guys, thank you very much, Adil. Thank you. And Mark and all of you guys, everyone that's come here, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Other than that, let's catch you guys on another one. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. My name is Sham. This is 0xfiles. The truth is always out there. All of these videos are there for you guys to go and reference back. And remember, the videos, the best way to watch them, if you they're like consecutive, so each video is like a continuation of the previous one. So if you don't understand a particular subject today, look at the one that we did prior to that. That will give you more idea about what we're talking about today, or something like this, right? So they all kind of continue from one after the other. So other than that, thank you very much. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate that. I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. Thank you.